You are now tuned in
to Respect the DJ's podcast.
Hello, and welcome to Respect the DJ podcast. I am your host, DJ Junebug, alongside DJ Khaled.
Let's go.
Our guest today has no setting down. He's been setting dance floors on fire since he was 15 years old. He's rocked every crowd he's touched. He's the most sought-out talent, whether it's rocking a party or producing the next big hit.
Let's go.
By the way, he's a platinum producer. With a career spanning decades, he has left a permanent mark on his music industry.
Yes. Damn, he's doing
His
it.
ability to read the crowd and create an unforgettable atmosphere. Let's get it for the one and only Shake the Block, DJ Effect.
Make it clap to
that effect, right? Block.
We here.
A lot of stuff I had to, write down on.
I see that. You was
shit.
working on them intros.
Hell yeah, man. It's like, I got to pause from now on. I got to do a sentence and pause.
Take a
sentence
breath.
and pause and shit. But yo,
like that.
welcome, Effect. Welcome.
What's up, man?
Facts. Appreciate you having you here with us, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
You know,
Appreciate it.
Definitely. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us right now.
I love DJ shit.
Yeah, I mean, no facts. And I'm sure you got home late last night, or maybe even this morning.
I didn't sleep yet. Yeah, last night was fun. we here.
We appreciate it, man.
Shit,
So,
we got in like 2 o'clock in the morning and got up this morning at 7 o'clock.
yeah, but
Fucking
we had a long day yesterday too.
Yeah.
So Laz kept us out longer than what we wanted to stay out.
Exactly.
What did he have y'all drinking last night?
He had Tito's last
Yeah,
night.
Tito's, but I'm on my Bacardi shit.
He's on his Bacardi because he's an old grumpy Puerto Rican.
I'm an OG. I don't
You know what
fuck
I mean?
that.
He had
Bacardi never changes its flavor. I don't give a fuck what you say.
He had everybody limping last night.
Right. Facts on that. And then waitress come around still bringing drinks and shit. So it was a good
exactly.
time. Shout out to
Good time.
Laz, man. Great hospitality, man.
Definite.
So we'll go ahead and get this kicked off. So how'd you get your DJ name?
It was funny, right? So my government name, my real name is Ari. So when I first started DJing, I was like, I didn't really have a DJ name. So when I do my little house parties, it was DJ Ari, which whatever. So at the time, there was a guy in Miami named Irie.
Okay,
So-
yeah,
Yeah,
DJ Irie, yeah.
Shout out to DJ Irie.
He's a big legend out here. He's
Right.
been doing this thing for a long time. So they started to like confuse us because we were on the same age. And at the time before he was like the big Miami Heat guy, he was playing like a Hot Wheels and I was playing like skating rings. And we all kind of had like the same kind of like, I don't want to say fan base because they weren't even fans yet, just like people that would come to our parties.
Right.
And I was like, fuck, man, my name sounds way too much like that. I said, I want to keep the same initial. On some nerd shit, I just opened a dictionary and I just started looking up definitions with the letter A. I saw effect and I was like, oh, to have an effect on the crowd, effect on this, effect.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I fuck with that name. I like that. And that's pretty much
ran
where the
with
name
it.
came from.
It's
Yeah.
never written. That's what's up.
Dictionary, no cool story. It was like
Right.
a dictionary, some nerd shit,
I think we all nerds.
We
or
are,
something. I
DJs are nerds. Yeah,
all day.
They nerds on
think there's more nerd DJs than actually DJs.
No, absolutely. Yeah, we're nerds on the low. Different type of nerd, but
Yeah.
we nerds, man. Who inspired you to start DJing? Like, did you just wake up one morning and say, hey, fuck this, I'm gonna start DJing? Or
So it's actually crazy. The way I got into DJing was I was a very, very below average athlete, right? So I sucked. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I'm a Jewish guy. Jewish guys not really good at sports, whatever. So
There's that one sport you do play though inside the box, the ring. What's actually called?
backgammon.
Is
Is that a sport? Yeah, it might be a sport. I guess it
Might be a
is.
sport now. That's
Yeah.
the only shit y'all know.
fucked up, dude.
I used to work for a Jewish career. I used to work for a Jewish organization. So we used to build that shit for them, for little ass kids. Y'all can't play basketball.
I know,
Y'all
yo.
play this shit.
Now I know what to get June for Christmas. So fucking backgammon.
I got you, bro. I'll ask my pops. You know what I'm saying?
Get the OG set.
So it was crazy, right? So my story, it's funny that you brought up Laz because the story is kind of similar. I mean, I don't know if it's similar, but in the beginning, like I played sports and one day I started feeling like excruciating pain in my leg and my mom took me to the doctor. I think I was like 12 years old. I went to the doctor and I found out I had something called a bone cyst. Bone cyst is basically like the dumb way to put it is like when you get a cavity on your tooth, how it decays.
Okay.
So my right femur, the whole bone was decayed and I couldn't play sports. I had to have surgery. I was in a wheelchair. And I was completely immobilized for, I would say, a good portion of like 6 months to a year.
Wow.
In that process, I was kind of like frustrated because my friends was playing sports. Everybody was kind of figuring out what they liked, what they didn't like. I think it was 4th or 5th grade around that time. And I was sitting home and I was kind of angry, bro. I don't really know how to put it other than it was like kind of like you're too young to know what depression is, but it was like kind of depressing. So I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do? So I was sitting home just watching TV, and the movie Juice was on. Yeah, and
Juice
it's funny
again.
now because watching it now, you know that no one was fucking DJing in the movie. But in my head, you know, being a competitive person, even at a young age, I saw the DJ battle scene. And I literally, when I was flipping through the stations, it literally landed on it. I didn't watch the whole movie. It just landed on the DJ scene. And I saw that shit, and I was like,
Doing the battle scene?
no, it was when he was in the bedroom.
In the bedroom,
and,
okay.
and the ironic part about the bedroom thing that stood out to me, if you remember in the movie, he was sitting down when he was doing his demo tape.
Right.
And I said,
Yeah,
oh
you
shit, that's
right.
something dope I could do.
I
That
relate
I
to
could
this.
sit down.
You're sitting down, right.
And it then just clicked. So I remember going to my parents and I was like, I want to be a DJ. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
You
what
put the
is
gloves
that
on too,
about?
though? You put
I ain't have the
gloves on?
gloves, yeah. But damn it,
the
I
gloves on?
should have though. That would have been dope.
The weightlifting joints.
So they were just looking at me like I was crazy. And I remember my father had a like a shelf system in the living room because, you know, this is like 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This, records were still a thing. And
Right.
I remember, so what I did was I put on Power 96. I don't know if it was Laz, but Laz was on the station at the time. And they had this shit called a 1030 Street Party. So the 1030 Street Party would come on and I would take whatever vinyl my father had. Wasn't a technique. It was just like some fucked up thing. And I would put it on top and I would just fuck up his records, fuck the needles up, fuck all the shit up, right? This shit went on for like a month. So I think my parents started to say like, you know, we need to try to help him because, you know, he can't walk. He's like, we want to try to do something to, you know, get him on it, you know, get him on thing. So they bought me a turntable. It was like piece of shit little Gemini turntable, but it worked, right? So I would play one song on the shelf system and I didn't have a mixer yet, but I had two turntables. So I was like using a volume knob of a radio station, trying to mix out whatever. So then it was crazy because I was still going to school. And I remember like my parents at that time would give me the $1.25 for lunch every day because that's what it cost to get lunch at school. So I skipped lunch every day for 4 months.
Damn.
I would stack the money, and I remember I met this guy named Raul Sanchez. I don't know if you know him. He owns a bunch of like clubs and venues now in Miami, but at the time, he was the vinyl guy. He worked at a record store in South Beach called Uncle Sam's.
Okay.
And you know, I would go there with my quarters and my dollars and balled up, and I'd be like, how many records could I get with this? And I remember like the first two records I bought was bullshit. It was like Naughty by Nature, Feel Me Flow. And it was
record
fun.
though,
Yeah. But like as one of your first records, it's kind of like there's a lot of dope shit, but you know, and I bought like Monica, it's just one of them days, and like that kind of era, that's when I started kind of
That's
DJing.
early 90s,
90s,
right?
yeah.
Early
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
And then, you know, little by little, I started compiling like 20, 30, 40 little records, right? So then, you know, at that point, I was like the, you know, DJ who was doing like the little house parties, but, you know, with 20, 30 records, I'm playing the same shit over and over,
Right.
figuring out a way to, you know, and little by little, you know, that's how I got into DJing. Was kind of like, I took a negative and kind of flipped it a little bit because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wasn't good at sports, but if I stayed playing sports, I don't know what that, it would have led to nothing in sports.
You went to sports.
But the DJ shit is like, that shit spoke to my fucking soul, bro.
Right,
like, you know what I'm saying? So
when you was DJing at these house parties, you had the turntable your mom, your parents bought you, and the house system as
yeah,
well?
and I was just figuring out different ways. And then at the time, one of my homeboys, you know, there was a bunch of kids in the school and everybody was trying to DJ. Not everybody. There was probably like 3 of us trying to DJ. In my head, it was everybody because those were the 3 people I hung with. It was a guy named Ren, another guy named Jumbo, and you know, little by little, they had turntables, and then my friend DJ Infamous now, who grew, and he's you know, I don't know if you remember like the Allies with like Craze and Infamous.
Yes.
Okay.
Infamous was a really good friend of mine, and he inspired me on the whole like turntablist side of shit, and started showing me like the way around with the scratching. And I met him through my friend Jumbo, and that's kind of how I got into the whole like learning how to scratch and that whole shit. And then little by little, you know, as I built music and I started making $100 here, $50 here from parties, and I finally got like my first set of techniques. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And I remember there was like, I think it was my 13th birthday, which in the Jewish thing is a bar mitzvah, right? So I got like $400, $500, and that's when I got my techniques. And then that's when shit got serious. I had my techniques, I had my Vestex 05 Pro, and then it was like, that's when shit started to, you know, really make sense. You know, and then that's where it kind of started.
He really got cut.
Yeah.
Oh, from the team?
The bar mitzvah. He got cut.
The bar mitzvah, yeah. Damn.
So that's where it started. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So from there on, you bought your own turntables then.
yeah. Once I got it,
So your 15th birthday. 13. After that, you bought your turntables in.
like once I got my turntables, bro, that's when like the obsession started to kick in. Like that's when I stopped hanging out with my friends. Like I was in the fucking room like
All day, all
all
night,
day
yeah.
trying to like. At first, I didn't know what I wanted to do as a DJ. I didn't look at myself like as a hip hop DJ or this or that. I was just like, I want to learn how to scratch. I want to learn how to put these records together. I want to learn how to make it make sense.
Right.
I want to learn if I have 100 records, how many different combinations I can make off of those records.
Right.
Which is kind of, I guess that'll be like later on, but that's why open format, like when the whole open format thing happened, is what really spoke to me, because I was obsessed with more about shaping sounds than like saying I was a hip hop DJ or a scratch DJ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
You started doing a lot of school parties back then?
I was doing school parties. So it started with the school parties, and then it was crazy because there's this guy who at the time was working for Bad Boy. His name was Amadeus. I think I was 15 now at this point. And Amadeus was like, yo.
He's a producer too, right?
No, that's a different Amadeus.
Okay.
Amadeus was the guy who made like the quote street team famous in Miami. So he was working for Bad Boy, and he's still around now. It's actually funny. He works at the venue that I'm at a lot now in Miami, which is Brick. But he was like one of the first people to kind of get me in the door. And it's funny because the person that he was partners with is now the team manager for the Miami Heat. His name is Steve Stowe, who's still a good friend of mine. But Amadeus and Steve Stowe were the first two people to say, hey, we're doing a club, we want you to do it.
Okay.
And I was kind of like, well, shit, if you could convince my parents to like let me stay out past 10 o'clock.
Right.
Because it was like on a school night and shit and whatever. We made it happen and I did it. And then later on, I met one of the dudes who's like a very intricate part of my career. His name is DJ Spaz. Spaz went in a different direction, and he's like doing all the production. So like when you go to a Heat game or a Panthers game, he's the guy like running the sound now.
Okay.
But at that time, I didn't know that you can get free records.
Okay.
So he said to me, you buy your records? What the fuck? What do you mean you buy your records? And I was like, what do you mean?
Free.
What other way do I get my records?
He's like, every Wednesday night, we're going to go to the spot, I'm going to get you records. And I go, what the fuck are you talking about? And he came and he picked me up and he was like, bro, I see a spark in you. Like, you're young and you're hungry and just come fuck with me. I was like, all right. So he took me down to, it was like 5th and Washington Avenue. And all the record promoters would meet up. And it was like,
oh, shit.
So it was like this guy named Juan Galan, this other guy, Doc Fresh, and all of these people. And when I got there, like I was the youngest one there. Like I was sticking out like a sore thumb because it was like OGs. It was like the radio guys were going there. The big club DJs were going there. And so I went the first night. No one gave me records. He came to introduce me and shit. And I started showing up every week. And I was just like, so finally, this guy named Doc Fresh, rest in peace, he was one of the first people to be like, and he was doing Def Jam at the time, which for me was, that was the guy that I wanted to get records from because Def Jam was everything at that time. Right. And then, Def Jam, Rockefeller, that whole catalog.
Umbrella, yeah. He had everything.
Yeah. So he started giving me records. So now I'm like, oh shit, I'm getting free records. So right in front of where they used to give out the records, there was a club there called Club Cream. Club Cream was an iconic spot because they had Biggie there. They had the Beatnuts there. And the owner, Rob De Niro, who's still an active DJ, not Rob De Niro from New York, but Rob De Niro from Miami. He, I would go up to him every week, yo, can I play? And he's looking at me like, you're annoying. Like I was that annoying kid that I just would not take no for an answer. I'm just every day. So one Wednesday, I saw him like pacing outside, and one of the DJs was running late, DJ Cool G, and he was like, yo, you have your records? And I'm like, no, but I'll get them. You know what I'm saying? So went, got my records, and I rocked Club Cream the first time. At that time, I think I was like 16, maybe. Right. I don't even think I was 16 because I didn't have a driver's license yet.
I think it was 15.
Yeah, my homeboy Spaz was still driving me around, so I didn't have a license. And I rocked that night. And then he goes, you want to do every week? He goes, I know you're still in school and shit. I'll put you on I don't know if it was a Friday or Saturday. Okay. I did that party, and at that time, there was like the whole strip of 6th Street, which was just a bunch of small clubs, just side by side. So when I started doing that, I guess people, I don't know if they talked or how the word got around, because there was no social media. It was just flyers and whatever.
Back in the day, it's all relationships.
Yeah, little by little, I was working 4 nights a week in 10th grade. You know what I'm saying? And
how's that feeling, though? To be in high school,
it
you're
was
15 years old, 16 years old, you're DJing 4 times a night at the club?
I don't think I understood it, bro, because like I was still on some nerd shit. Like for me, it
you were
was
having a good time.
I was having a good time.
A lot of groupies in that time.
Yeah, and yeah.
In high school.
Gotta edit this one out for my wife. I'm just kidding.
We always say a disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
I love my wife. This is way before you.
Yeah. But you know, it didn't really hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was doing it, and I didn't understand politics. I didn't understand haters.
Yep.
So like when I started finding out like older DJs didn't like me, it really upset me because I didn't understand why.
Right.
I didn't understand like any of the politics. I was just innocent kid, just happy playing my fucking music. And by the way, after that, I was back on my feet again. So it wasn't like handicapped kid trying to learn how to DJ. It was like, now I'm the guy that is making great money. I'm in school. You know, I'm still doing my thing at school. I was in fucking marching band, jazz band, because I was also in between all of this DJ shit. I got obsessed with music. I wanted to know what made music. So I started like, you know, learning how to make music. When I started making some bread, I bought an MPC 2000 and I started learning that whole game. And that's a whole other story. But like, you know, I was obsessed with music. I wasn't sitting there wondering why some 40-year-old DJ didn't like me, or, you know, some promoter was mad that I worked for $50 less there than there. Like I didn't understand any of that. And I didn't negotiate. Like people would be like, I'll give you 100. I'm like, okay. I'll give you 500. I'm like, okay.
Sounds good, right?
Like I didn't know, I wasn't aware of what the fuck was going on. And like at that time it was different. I didn't see it as a business. I was still a kid living at home. So I wasn't trying to figure out survival. I was just having fun.
Right.
So my approach was way different than the disgruntled old guy that was like, I got to pay my bills.
Right.
I understand it now.
You living at home, you don't care. 50
Yeah.
bucks, 100 bucks.
And I was just fucking happy. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's kind of like how I started to get into the club scene. But what changed the club scene for me was, you know, I was doing all the little small clubs and shit. And 6th Street, I always use this analogy on every podcast and interview. To me, 6th Street was like, looking back at it, is like, you know, when you go on an airplane and you got coach class, and then they pull the curtain and you got first class. So 6th Street was like coach class. But then I remember at the time, it was called Level, which then eventually became Mansion, and you know, so on and so forth. I started working for a guy named Tony Major who did a Caribbean party. And he was just like, man, I love your music. You play different than everybody else does, because a lot of DJs, I feel like I know what song is coming on next, and you didn't do that. So you've been on my radar for a while. I'm starting a reggae party. I just want you to come do the 1-hour hip hop set. So it was a whole night. And at that time, like looking back at it, I didn't know what I was in the middle of. So now looking back, seeing that I was playing with like Renaissance Sound and Big Belly Sky Juice and all of these big legendary iconic Jamaican Caribbean DJs, I didn't know who there was no social media, bro. There was no way for me to like kind of learn who the big dog in Jamaica was.
Right.
So that's actually when I met Khaled. I met Khaled doing that party. So, you know, I did that party, and the first night I got there, he's like, oh, here's the address. And you also got to understand, I still don't know like the difference of like the big shit and the small shit. And then I'm like, I go there and I look up and I see this fucking big ass billboard of like a theater.
Right.
And I'm like, so where do I go? And they're like that. And I walk in this room and there's this fucking gigantic, you know what I'm saying? I was just confused. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Right.
You know, so I did that party, and then from that party is when my career just kind of just
took off.
It kind of took off because like within such a small amount of time, mind you, still in high school. So it was kind of like, what the fuck, you know?
Did your parents not support you?
100%. Till this day, like my parents are still my number one supporter till this day, because like
that's nice.
They saw like, you know, their kid go through like a clinical issue or whatever you want to call it with a leg, and turned it into a career.
Right.
And then on top of the career shit is like I do a shitload of charity work because of what I came from. So like I'm a very big advocate for like Nicholas Children's Hospital in Miami. I just got a it's called a brick, and they put your name in the floor when you raise $1 million.
Right.
Nice.
So I got to raise $1 million for hospitals. Like, so for me, like I don't look at
beautiful.
Thank you. I don't look at the DJ shit like, oh, look at me, I play records. I'm like, well, if being able to do that can allow me to do that, this is why the fuck I do it. I love DJing, I love music, but it's been the biggest fucking vehicle that I've had to like do positive shit.
Right.
You know, do shit like, you know, feed the homeless, back to school drives, Thanksgiving drives. Like, to me, this shit is still like very, kind of feels like a drink, you know what I'm saying? Like I I never took any of this shit for granted. Now, granted, I had my ups and downs in my career. I'm not saying it's all being fucking candy canes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like, for the most part, like looking back at the whole shit, I would have never been able to do any of this shit if it wasn't for the DJ shit.
Right.
Even if I was good at sports, I don't think I could have pulled off some of the shit that I pulled off now.
Right.
Like everything that I have came from DJing. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, it's crazy, dog. Like
Right.
Yeah.
Now being young and in your household, they weren't playing hip hop. They weren't playing R&B. So how will you know what was a good song or stuff like that? Like was it a radio station you was listening to?
So it was weird because I have an older sister, right? So my sister was not into hip hop. She listened to shit like Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, like. So I got an influence of rock and indie shit. My father's from Israel, so I was hearing Middle Eastern music.
Right.
My mom is like a Woodstock era kid, so like I was hearing like all of everything from like the Beatles to Zeppelin to that. So I'm in a house where it's like rock and roll, Woodstock, Israeli, and then my friends and then DJ Laz on Power 96.
Right. We got the bass.
So now I'm like. So for me, everything with music to me wasn't about the song, it was about a feeling.
Okay.
So if I got goosebumps, I knew that record worked. If it felt a certain way sonically, I knew it worked.
Right.
I don't know why my phone's ringing. I had it on mute. My bad. Let me shut this shit off. I'm sorry. My apologies.
It's all good.
I just shut it off. Somebody broke the barrier. So to me, it was all about feeling. You know what I'm saying? And that's same thing with production, same thing. It was always about feeling, like on some just, I don't know. I didn't know the difference between good and bad. I just know what felt good and what didn't.
Right.
You know, I got obsessed with certain music. You know, like when I started getting introduced to some of like my favorite hip hop shit, first time I heard Reasonable Doubt, that was like an obsession. I was like, this is fucking crazy. First time I heard shit from De La Soul, I was like, oh, this shit is fucking crazy. Because I started going back and then I started going forward. And we didn't have the internet, so it was a lot different. You know, like now everybody could be so overly consumed, get everything they need in a day.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
They don't have time to process it, so no one gets obsessed with it.
Right.
Like when you bought a CD,
you heard that shit over
you
and over.
read the credits.
Right,
some of the books had the lyrics. You learned the lyrics. Like you became obsessed with it.
Well, and then too, back then, an album was good for at least a year.
There was albums that were good for fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There's records hitting now harder than they were hitting 20 years ago, but the shit that came out last month ain't hitting hard now.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. It was because you know they would drop the album, then they would tour. If they had 3 singles, they would tour for 2 years sometime off that one album. Nowadays, people are dropping a song a week, so there's no time to really consume it.
People worked on an album for 3 years. Now labels are telling you if you can't finish your album in a week, like fuck you, you're shelved. Like it's
right. We're moving on to the next shit.
Right.
I think that's why we have such great music sonically.
Absolutely, yeah.
From those early 70s, 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s to just.
But I think this new generation of kids, like when I say kids, I'm talking about like 16 to 21. I guess I'm old now because I'm saying those are kids, but like they're kind of rebelling against all that shit. Like we were just talking about it, like vinyl coming back.
Yep.
Like vinyl sales are through the fucking roof right now.
We're feeling it right now.
I see 14, 15-years in Urban Outfitters buying vinyl.
Yeah,
you know
we
what I'm
went
saying?
to was it Lucky Records? That's
We went to
1-800 Lucky.
Yeah, we went to Lucky.
We went there yesterday, and I'm bitching. I'm like, there should be a rule for DJs in a record store. If you're trying to buy a record and you're a DJ, it shouldn't be $45 for a 7-inch record. You know what I'm saying? There should be rules.
But they got to pay that Winwood rent, so that's why they selling that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
we found some good. We found some gems in there. We found a couple because we still buying vinyl.
Right.
So we found a couple gems in there, but there was some. I told Shorty and I was like, "Yo, $45 for this?" Like
he just paid. I think you said 65 for Redman.
I think it was 60 or 65. I paid for Redman Time for Some Action single.
Single.
I mean, you just get it. You know, I don't
You
know.
what's
You
crazy?
better frame that shit.
Right. Because we like, and what makes me upset is that we have, I'd say I got almost between 15 and 20. He probably got a little bit more than me. And I'm looking at some of these things because I was on the label list. So I got some of those records, I got 4, 5, 6 copies of. I'm like, I got to start fucking selling these shits.
But the thing is, I'm also on some weirdo shit, right? Like when I went through my whole vinyl obsession shit from my whole career, and even now, like to me, there was a difference of having the promo copy and the release copy, and I wanted the promo copy and I wanted the release copy. And when vinyl kind of died down, I didn't sell my collection, but I definitely sold my doubles, my triples, and my promos, and all original pressings I put on one side and I kept, and a lot of the bullshit I got rid of because paying for storage in Miami is a whole other that's another rent payment in itself. It ain't storage, it's fucking rent. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, seeing what's happening, I think it's a good sign because I don't think people are buying vinyl for any other reason than the same reason we did. It sounds better, it feels better, and you have something to like fucking cherish and shit. Like, I'm not cherishing a hard drive. Like, I got 1 million songs on my hard drive. It doesn't matter.
You download it or you pay for it on iTunes or whatever it is, and it's just in your phone. You don't get to touch it, feel it, you know, and type of things. But now, at least the music the vinyl that we're buying now, like I like to say, we're curating our vinyl.
Hell yeah. So it's art, you know, it's your art collection.
It's the stuff that we know are bangers, stuff that we are going to play. You know, not just taking up space on my wall type.
It's also more something you hear, it's something you look at. That is art. The fucking sleeve is art. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like when I pull my old club crates that I used to travel, when I pull the fucking lid off, it still has that smell of like smoke, liquor, and sweat. Yeah. The fucking dead skin on your hands. My hands are destroyed from years of records. I got calluses on my knuckles, my thumbs. Like I got scars. You still have records?
You used to have them?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's dope.
Needles are expensive as fuck now, man. Yeah. Them short joints.
Everything's expensive now.
Everything, yeah. Because now they're capitalizing on that shit.
So what age was you when you started working with Luke?
Luke it was funny. I didn't have like a long running thing with Luke. He was my
you was on the radio, right?
He was my first introduction to being on a legal radio station. Because for people that don't know, like I don't think in New York, you know, there were pirate stations that didn't exist, right? Like in
Orlando died.
Orlando, Florida, Florida's fine.
I think Florida was a pirate.
Well, there was a pirate station a close friend of mine had in New York, and it ran, and he got picked up by the news.
That's fire.
And they did a little episode on them on news and stuff like that. Shout out to Dren. He had a pirate station that they had the antenna, actually. I think it was in Brooklyn. They set it up.
That's crazy.
But the shit covered the city, believe it or not.
You know what's crazy about the underground shit? I don't think they cracked down on underground radio. It's because people don't know how bad it is to be on an underground radio station for one reason. And I found this out years later. When I first got on a real radio, I'll go back to the Luke thing in 1 second. I just want to jump into this. When I first got on the radio and I did mainstream radio for the first time, and I went to 103.5 The Beat, shot to DJ Mummy, who gave me the opportunity. The room where the transmitters were is like this fucking glass like vault, and the motherfuckers was wearing a hazmat suit. And I was like, why they gotta wear all that? And they were like, oh, it's the radiation. It's terrible for you. I'm like, bro, when I was on underground radio, the transmitter was under the table. And I was like, come to think, I was like, damn, I used to have headaches every day. Like, it's more about fucking safety.
Right,
I mean,
safety,
and obviously FCC regulations, but like being in a room, I was like living inside of a microwave for like 2 fucking years, you know what I'm saying? But like, that shit's real. I started thinking about, I was like, damn, that hazmat is geek talk, but like the hazmat suit shit, and then I was in the room with the transmitter, like this is just fucked.
Right.
You know
yeah. You don't know. You didn't know no better. Well, you don't know what you don't know, right? You know.
But back to the Luke thing, you know, just making noise in the scene and shit. Luke used to have, it was called the Luke Show. It was every Friday night on 99 Jams, and it was an iconic thing because obviously, for the people that don't know, Luke's like the reason why they have the parental advisory sticker, and he's wild. And like the shit, he was Howard Stern before Howard Stern knew he was Howard Stern. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the Luke Show was like the shit he was saying on the radio, minus cursing because they would beep it out because it had to be regulated. Right. All that shit would happen in the studio. Mm-hmm. So again, DJ Spaz, the same guy that, you know, really, you know, put me on in the beginning. He did the show. It was crazy because when Khaled was coming up as like more of not an artist, but as a DJ, there was a company called like, I think it was On Point or Unpoint. I don't remember what it was, but it was DJ Spaz, DJ Khaled, and a couple other people. And Spaz was like the next up and coming guy. But you know, the thing is that Khaled just had this personality that kind of overshadowed the DJing. Until this day, he's still, you know, he's still moving, and his personality could kind of always get his point across or get what he wants. So Spaz found other alternatives. He got into like, you know, working on the news stations and all of that stuff. But like, what was I talking about?
The 99 Jams.
Oh, the 99 Jam shit. My bad. I got ADD.
It's okay.
A little hungover, but so Spaz was like, yo, Luke will give you a shot to play on a Friday night. You want to do it? And I was like, fuck, hell yeah. Radio, I remember, I never forget when the 99 Jams the first time, bro. When I went to put the fucking needle on the record, my hand was shaking. I was so fucking nervous. Right. Uncle Al, legendary Uncle Al, rest in peace. He was on that show every week. He was like Luke's main resident, and the show was chaos. There was like 100 people in the fucking studio. It was like Luke, all of his dancers, strippers, porn stars, midgets, fucking. I mean, it was, bro. It was a
like the fucking Wolf of Wall Street, like the Wolf of Wall
exactly
Street.
that and a circus all in one. And I remember coming on, and you know, but the second the on-air light went on, the shaking stopped, and I just zoned out and I did my thing, and that was like my first introduction to radio, and that's kind of when I knew I was like, I could play this here and everyone could hear it. Like that's when I started to fall in love with radio. Then I started getting obsessed with radio. But it took me a really long, that was one thing in my career that I don't know what the disconnect was, because I got really lucky and I was kind of doing everything, but it took me years of fighting and kicking down the door to land a radio spot. It went on for so many years that I actually gave up on pursuing radio. And, you know, literally it was like 7 years, 6, 7 years. This is like, I couldn't land radio for whatever reason. I don't know if it was because at that time club DJs weren't radio DJs,
and vice versa.
that whole shit. So, you know, I just went back to my club shit because I guess that's what I was good at.
Right.
And then the Baker Boys came to Miami on 103.5 The Beat, and my boy DJ Mummy was their production manager. He did something with the Baker Boys. He moved here from the Bay Area. We met through the clubs. We became friends. And, you know, one night I was just DJing. He comes to me, he's like, yo, why aren't you on radio? And I was like, bro, I've tried everything. I've done everything, tried everything from fucking begging, mixtapes, sending in shit. I even remember sending in a Timberland boot with my resume in it, and I wrote on the boot just trying to get my foot in the door. I was just,
you were creative.
I was trying to,
that was a good,
bro,
good
I was
idea.
trying to do everything. I did underground radio, but to me, underground radio didn't really count because it was a small radius. Right. It was a different thing. It wasn't really like respected. And shout to DJ Griot for the first person to give me a shot at underground radio, and I love the experience, but it's just different when you walk into that building.
Right.
So Mummy said to me, he was like, yo, why aren't you doing radio? I was like, so I've tried everything, dog. I can't. He's like, you want to do radio? I was like, oh, fucking course. Like when I completely stopped caring, I guess the laws of attraction or whatever. Happens, yeah. I came on and I started with Friday nights, and then it was crazy because I was on the beat, and you know at that time Clear Channel they would flip stations all the time, so I'll never forget. I'm on radio now 4 or 5 months, and we start to do well, and then they come in and one of my best friends, rest in peace, is Prince Marky D from the Fat Boys. He was our co-host, and he was like, the station's getting flipped tomorrow, and I was like, the fuck does that mean? He's like, tomorrow it's over. Right. And I'm like,
damn.
So I'm like, oh shit. So the next morning, the guy who worked who's now a big dog over at Sirius, Alex Tier, was like, do you want to go to Y100? And I was kind of like, I love open format, but I don't love just pop music. Okay. But I was like, I don't want to lose radio. I don't want to lose it. I don't want to lose it. I don't want to lose it. So I said, what's going to happen with Mummy? And then he was like, I don't know what's going to happen with Mummy. I said, Mummy put me on the beat. I'm not coming over here unless Mummy comes with me. So he wound up putting Mummy on. Me and Mummy went over. And like 3 months later, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Rico Love, very big songwriter, producer. And, I was signed to the same management company as him. It was called Made You Famous. And he did his label launch party. Okay. And I remember
I think he signed to J Records, wasn't he?
Rico? I don't remember what label he was
J
on.
or Atlantic?
I thought it was J Records. It was for some reason.
I don't remember, but
I think it was J Records.
It was J Records.
I remember being at his album, DJing the album release party, and I went outside to get somebody in, and the program director of 99 Jams was outside. He couldn't get in, Derek Baker. And I'm like, Derek, you good? And you know, I was kind of being salty because he's one of the people that just did not fucking put me on, but whatever. I was like, you good?
We all have those stories. Right. We have those stories for days.
No politics, no gossip. He didn't put me on. I got him inside, went in the party, and I played that party. And then the next day he calls me and he's like, so you want to come on 99 Jams? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I didn't want to be like, why you ain't put me on before? But I was like,
you know what it is?
So you went back to 99 Jams?
Huh?
Yeah, that's what he's getting to, but I cut him off like I always do. But so basically, what you did was you took your pride out of it,
right?
And even though you helped him,
move.
He made a chess move, not knowing he was making a chess move,
right?
Which he did it from his heart, which was pure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
because
It was like-
everything was always pure and like some hippie shit, right? But like,
Right.
you know, you get a little bit, you start to get a
you get
little
salty.
jaded, a little
Yeah,
salty.
Yeah. So you got him, and then he called you the next day.
So he called me the next day and was like, "You want to come over?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "But I want to be professional. I'm on Y100. You know, let me do this the right way. Give me 2 to 3 weeks so I could set a letter of resignation."
Right.
And I got in a really bad situation because they didn't respect my wishes. So this is what happened. The next morning, this is no contract, no nothing. This is just typical like industry bullshit. I remember sleeping and waking up, and this is when Twitter was like the big shit. And I had like thousands of tweets the next morning. And I'm like, what the fuck is this about?
What did I do?
What did I do? You know, I didn't know what was going on. And I was very heavy on Twitter. I went viral before viral was viral because I was a dumbass that got a big ass Twitter bird chain. I literally got the bird and had to add DJ effect. Like, it was stupid shit because I was making money then, so I was dumb.
Just doing dumb shit. Yeah. You still got that shit?
Yeah, I do. I'll send you a picture. It's
Yeah, we
horrible.
need it. We need
It's
it.
so
We need a
fucking
picture,
ugly.
yeah.
A picture with you wearing the shit.
Yeah.
You could, yeah.
Just take
I
a new
guess.
picture.
Yeah, I will. It's horrible.
Now we need to put it on your pocket.
99 Jams the next day from their Twitter goes,
announced it.
"Congratulations, DJ Effect joining the team." Right?
They blast you.
I didn't respond to anyone. I didn't do anything. I had to sit down and say, this is going to put me in a bad situation. I am on a Clear Channel station, employed by Y100.
Right.
I love and respect the people that put me on. They've never done me wrong. Alex Tier never did me wrong. Mac at Night never did me wrong. All the people that were involved in my always were good to me.
Right.
So now you got to understand the way that you got to suck it up, and you got to understand how
Politics.
the industry works and the politics of how the industry works.
Yeah.
And all I did was just pace around my house for hours like, what the fuck am I going to do? They made a tweet. I can't say it's not true because that's what I'm doing. But I also are in a bad situation because now people that believed in me, gave me my first situation, had my back. The first text message I saw was for all of them. "Oh, nice of us to find out, blah, blah, blah."
This way, right.
No matter what I say, I'm still going to be looked at
You're
as
wrong.
fucked up. I'm still going to be looked at as a liar or unloyal.
Right.
So, you know, what I did was I ignored everything and everyone. And it was artists, you know, it was French Montana, it was Fabulous. All these people were tweeting. And I ignored it. I didn't retweet anything. And to this day, I never retweeted any of it.
Right.
I went on my computer. I made a formal letter of resignation. And I said, "P.S. This is not what was supposed to happen. They made a tweet. This was premature. I told them that I needed it 3 weeks.
Right.
I needed growth. You know, I was playing a Friday night on Y100, which wasn't conducive to my current career. And I needed hip hop. And I took over. It was funny because the show that I took over on 99 Jams was Khaled's show.
Okay.
When Khaled started, when We Taking Over came out and he started touring and he became,
Right.
I hate to say it, just bigger than radio or bigger than being a mix show DJ,
Right.
I took over the shutdown. And it was huge for me. You know what I'm saying? With huge came, you know, politics and hate and whatever.
Absolutely.
But to me, the shit that bothered me the most out of my whole career was not being able to, and I told Derek that, you know, that was fucked up. I made it clear to everybody, like, that tweet really put me in a fucked up situation, and it made me look like I was not
Professional.
being pure or being professional. And I just want to DJ, dog. Like,
Right.
I don't want none of the bullshit. I just want to play.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with the politics and all
Yeah.
that comes along with
So
it.
when did you leave radio and do internet radio?
I left radio. Well, internet radio was something that I tried to do before internet radio was internet radio. Like, it was
That was
cool for
early-
what
that
it
was
was,
earlier?
but that was way earlier. And that's not something I talk about.
But you did sell the name.
The domain?
Yeah.
Domain.
But hold on,
So-
hold on, I want to go back.
Did you see what the name is? Not what it is now.
No, I don't know what the name is now right now.
But before, let's go back. So
okay.
why did you leave 99 Jams?
I left 99 Jams because I was there for so this is what happened. So I was there.
How long were you there for?
Like 3.5, almost 4 years.
Okay.
The first 2 years to me was magical because number one, Marky D left and came over there too. So I have my homie back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Marky, I get emotional when I talk about this shit all the time because he's like one of my.
No, listen,
Yeah.
I grew up with the Fat Boys and Run DMC.
But that was the crazy shit to me.
that's the
Like,
era,
watching
in
Disorderlies
out-
and knowing that this is
right,
one of my
right.
best friends is
in
fucking
our,
wild.
Like
It's
in
crazy.
our
Yeah,
studio, our main studio where we do the podcast, Fat Boy's first album was up there.
Yeah.
Like,
Every
that's
time I
like-
wanted to make a poor decision, he was like, no. Like, during the pandemic, we would speak, and then I'll tell you the ending of the when Marky D passed, a week sequence of that, because it's like it's a to be continued, and I'll talk about that in a second. But you know, he came over there and all of the stars were aligning. I was in the clubs. I met my wife. I had my kids. I was on radio. Like everything is just great.
It's happening.
Falling in line. Yeah.
But then I started realizing, you know, the value of time more than money. So I was just like, okay, I'm on radio 5 days. I'm in the club 6 days. I'm trying to produce. I'm working with Timberland. I have all of this shit going on, but I'm doing so much now, and now I'm starting to make way less money. I'm starting to have way less time. I'm starting to have way less peace. I'm starting to have way more stress. I have artists calling me. I gotta drink some water.
Right, yeah.
I'm starting to have a.
That's our no free water.
They gotta cut that check.
We had to check, man.
what I'm
That's why we take the labels off, because you know.
So, you know, when you're young and you have celebrities calling your phone, it's the coolest shit in the world. But when you're grown and celebrities are calling your phone nonstop, asking for favor after favor after favor, play my record, do this, do that, and no one is doing shit in return.
Yeah.
It dawned on me, because this is what happened. I would do these big birthday bashes every year, right? And all these celebrities would come, they would host and whatever. And then like little by little, the more I would do for them, the less they would do. So I remember I forgot how old I was turning. I think I'm 40 now. I feel like this was probably maybe like 8 years ago. I don't know exactly, don't call me on it, but I go to throw this big birthday party and I call, I'm not gonna name names because we don't do that, but
Yeah.
I call this guy, yo, hit my manager. Fuck you. All right, cool. Call this one, what's the budget?
Yep.
Mind you, I was the one breaking these records, breaking my back in the clubs, doing this, doing that.
Yeah.
So I remember looking at my wife and I was just like, I need to make changes, because I'm not an idiot. I know how this industry works. No one lasts forever.
Right.
And I'm not saying I'm finished, but like,
Right.
you know, I was just like, at this point, I'm working for everybody, not me.
Right.
Because I'm working more than ever. I'm making less than ever. I have a family to take care of. I have all this shit. And I was just like, I have to start slicing the fat. Radio is very time consuming. And I wasn't saying I was going to chop radio. We went into a corporate meeting, you know, the typical once a month meetings where you sit with the program
play this,
directors and this, and they pull out the
ratings.
PPM shit and the cume and the screen and the pie chart. And I'm looking, and this is when like the whole Pandora streaming all started to start, and you start to see the little wheels start to deteriorate. And I was kind of like, damn, man, I feel like more people can listen to me in the club right now than the fucking radio. And to be honest with you, you don't make money at radio.
Right.
No.
I wasn't a
We had
jock.
this conversation earlier. Where
Yeah,
I wasn't a jock. I was a mixer. You know what I'm saying? So like the jocks had benefits. The jocks had
radio personality was there.
the whole shit.
Yeah.
And I just said, you know what? I called Derek and I was like, thank you. And then it was crazy because when I kind of kicked myself in the ass, because when I left, Jill Strata came in after Derek Baker left.
From Orlando too.
Yeah. Shout out to Jill Strata.
And I really liked her because to me, knowing her history from Hot 97 and all the different things, I was like, I jumped at the wrong time. She actually asked me to come back, and I didn't. And I kind of regret it, but at the same time, everything happens for a reason, because a lot of dope shit happened when I started freeing up time. When I started to free up time, it was kind of all like, it was one of those like destroy and rebuild type of stories, because it was like, fuck radio, I'm done. Then I was like working in the clubs, and I started to notice this is when it went from being good music and people dancing to like, table 4 wants to hear A-rap money. Table 6 wants to do this. And I'm like, fuck, now I'm just an overpaid jukebox.
Jukebox, yeah.
So I remember one night I was drinking and I was, you know, I talked about all the positive shit and like being a happy camper and being like very just like hippie and everything.
Clouds, yeah.
But, you know, at this point now I'm starting to become like the guys that, you know, was used to look at me, and I'm looking at the 21-year-old now like, man, fuck this little dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I just started noticing I was changing, and I didn't like it. I wasn't happy in the clubs. I wasn't happy on radio. I had my balance because I was happy at home, but I was like, you know, I don't want to do this shit no more. So I just walked away from South Beach. I was like, and I was full schedule, and it was just like cold turkey. And I winded up getting into almost a fist fight with a club manager, which is what really made me realize that I'm coming out of character. I'm not a thug. I'm not a gangster. I don't claim to be tough.
Right.
It's not my shit. I
Make money.
I'm not like a thug, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I felt like I wanted to fight a manager in a club, I said, I don't want to do this shit no more. So it's crazy. Like I took some time off, got my shit together, and I took a meeting on some just business shit having nothing to do with music. Mind you, my whole life was DJing, and I went through like a year where there was just no DJing. It was just done.
Wow.
And I went to Wynwood. Mind you, one thing I didn't mention throughout this whole process, which is crazy, I had actually at one point moved to New York. I got a residency at Greenhouse. I was working at RDV, Whip, all of the big meatpacking district clubs. Because at that time, and a lot of things that people didn't know too, in the process of what I was saying was Louis Oliver, we had built an iconic party at the Forge. There's a whole story behind what the Forge is, but the Forge is what became Live on Sunday.
Okay.
What people don't know is the first Live on Sunday now has been going on for, I think, 16 or 17 years.
Yeah.
The first 4 years or 3 years of Live on Sunday, I was the Live on Sunday DJ. Like I was the main, the Stevie, the one who's the main guy now, he wasn't even DJing like that at the time. It was me and Don P. Don P's still there, another homie of mine. Mm-hmm. So, I had the Live on Sunday thing. I had all this South Beach stuff. The reason I had to leave Live on Sunday was because at the time when I was working for Opium Group is when the whole non-compete shit started.
Okay.
So they were like, if you work here, you can't work there. So in my head, it was like 6 nights versus 1 night. Live wasn't magical yet. Live was just a dope hip hop party.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like year 7, year 8 of Live when Lil Wayne did Live on Sunday, King of Diamonds Monday.
Right.
And that whole shit really exploded. And it was another timing issue for me because I prematurely like pulled out. You know what I'm saying? And
Pull out game is strong.
Strong. And I don't believe in making mistakes. I believe that everything changes a time sequence and shit. Right. So with all that shit going on, and I looked back at everything, I was like, I did everything. There's not really much more I can do. I had the LA, I had the Mark Pitts, Grammy parties in LA, and I did this and Usher, and I kind of like did it all. And I was kind of like, I'm starting to notice I'm declining. So I didn't want to fall off. I was afraid to fall off. Like I didn't want to just go from being like king shit to like I'm DJing at the bowling alley. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, it was a pride and ego thing. But I also really looked at something like, damn, I had a fucking 20 plus year run. I'm good. Like but it was crazy because when I took the time off, I started to feel like I wasn't the same person. And I went to Wynwood to take a meeting. This is before Wynwood was cool.
Right.
And I didn't know there was bars there. I didn't know this. I live in Miami. I never heard of Wynwood, which I don't think anybody did. This is 10 years ago. Like Wynwood was kind of like a crackhead town. It was the industrial district.
Very abandoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to a meeting at a pizza shop called Joey's, and the meeting finished like at 9, 10 o'clock at night. And I was just walking around. I was like, this is cool. I stumbled into this bar. It was called Brick House. And I walked in, and one of the OG DJs that I looked up to when I was a jit, his name is Tom LaRock, New York legend, and he came to Miami, and he really did, he did a lot for himself. I walked into Brick, and he was there playing vinyl. Mind you, we're all on Serato now for years. And for me, I was kind of like, yo, this is crazy. And I saw people dancing. They didn't have a red velvet rope. There was no security.
Right.
There was no
VIP areas, no
it was
service.
just a bar, picnic tables. People were playing Jenga and
hanging out,
all
having
that
a
weird
good time,
shit, and having the best time. And I said, I need this in my I would do this shit for free. Like this is what I need. This is the mental therapy that I need. So I remember the next day going on social media and writing to people from Brick, and I was just like, I want to play here. And the owner, who's now one of my close friends, they basically were like, we're never gonna pay your rate. We know who you are. You're from the beach. And I'm like, I don't want no more. I just want to play here. And we started talking, and they were just like, I was like, do you guys make a lot of money here? And at that time, I think they were kind of bragging about not making a lot of money. And then in my head, the same business mind kicked in. I was like, if I could make you more money, can I make some money?
Right, right, absolutely.
And bro, so it started like that. And then I caught a crazy run after all of the South Beach shit, because a lot of people in Miami say I kind of like pioneered Wynwood, because I came into Wynwood. I started the first real hip hop party. And till this day, now next to Live on Sunday, it's the longest running hip hop party in Miami.
Okay.
It's every Sunday. And bro, I mean, we were the first people doing celebrities in Wynwood without having to put them on a flyer. They just wanted to come.
They want to be a part of the
You know,
vibe,
Pusha T would be hanging out one week, and it would be random people. Would be like Pusha, Fabulous, but then like Michael Blackson would come hang out, Nick Cannon, or just some random like the Wild 'N Out people. And it was just that alternative because no dress code, no red velvet robe, none of that shit. Obviously, it changed a little bit now. 10 years later, like we have bottle service now, but that was never
part of the culture now.
And that was the party that if I look back at my whole career, the most memorable moments that I had DJing, fun, organic, like the dopest shit was that.
And it's vinyl.
Well, it's not vinyl anymore, but it was vinyl. And it was funny because we were just talking about like bringing back like a whole vinyl type of night. But like that was the place that we didn't really have to play the hits. We could literally, and even till this day, like last night, I was fucking at 2 a.m. I was playing fucking Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, Tevin Campbell. And then I was also playing random shit like, I remember looking at my homie Jimbo Slice and I was like, I dropped Umbrella from fucking Rihanna and Jay-Z and I haven't played that record in forever.
Right.
And the reaction the record got, I was kind of like, what the fuck? Like till this day, every night has that kind of magical moment. But all I hear about is all these big room clubs, big money clubs. Everybody's saying the same shit. It's boring. You got to wait around to hear Dreams and Nightmares. But but the crazy shit is playing at the little hole in the wall at Brick and certain like industry people coming to hang out got me my residency at Club 11. So like me taking time off, I didn't look at it. It kind of rebirthed my career. The pandemic was the biggest rebirth of my career because I looked at it like this. To everybody else, I was already old. Like I was kind of like played out in Miami. I'd done everything I was old. But after the pandemic, 1,000,001 motherfuckers moved here. The young people got old and now a new crowd came in.
Right.
So the second the doors opened from the pandemic, I came back to a brand new fucking crowd. It was like a reset button. So like for me, it was to me, it was dope.
Well, he has to tell us about the 305.
Oh, the 305. Let's get back to the 305. So you had
internet radio.
you had a domain name 305.com, I think it was, right?
I had 305.com and W305.com.
Okay, and you sold both of them?
I sold W305.com. My dumbass let 305.com expire. Because back, you don't think about that shit, but W305 now is apparently a very famous porn site, which I have no idea why. But yeah.
You getting residuals from that?
Nah.
Ah, damn.
Nah, but I sold the domain for whatever it was, and but, yeah, man.
Oh, man. Yo, he had two dope
domains. Yeah. You would have got a.
You've been retired already. You've been retired.
Yeah, for that 305.com, I'm sure you would have got a bag for that shit.
Yeah.
I didn't mention the biggest thing that I felt like I did in my career though. Like honestly, I don't know if y'all familiar that I launched a big ice cream brand called Mr. Cream. Did y'all ever hear about that shit?
No, I didn't see
So
that.
Mr. Cream until like about a year
is
ago.
It an ice cream thing called Mr. Cream?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
Mr. Cream.
I launched Mr. Cream.
Hey,
and,
yo.
It became a multi-million-dollar business.
Oh.
So basically, I launched the ice cream. It started off as an ice cream parlor, and it was so one night, me and my homie Jimbo Slice, he's like one of my best friends, another DJ in the market. My first job ever, I worked one day was at an ice cream store, and I said,
You said his name was Jimbo Slice?
Yeah,
That's a dope name though,
Yeah.
Jimbo Slice.
So one night we was eating breakfast after the club, and I was like, I want to open an ice cream store. He's like, I bet you won't do it. And I was like, if I find a place, I'm gonna do it. This is actually how I winded up getting heavily rooted into Wynwood. So this guy named E, he owns a graffiti line called Evolve, and the company's 004 Connect. He had like a graffiti supply shop, and Jimbo was like, oh, he'll rent you some space and you could sell ice cream out of there. I didn't know about like licenses and permits and all this shit. He said, do it. We did it. I rolled in a fucking freezer. We started making ice cream and we were selling ice cream.
Making it from scratch?
Yeah, in the beginning, we was making it from scratch, yeah.
Where the fuck did you find this recipe?
It's just, ice cream is just dumb easy. It's just cream and then whatever the fuck you want to put in it to make the flavors. So
It's not a whip. It's not a whip. It's not a whip.
A lot of but what I'm saying is he wasn't in there like fucking Chef Ramsay, like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
he just
but-
started making ice cream and selling this shit. That's
but dog,
fucking
even-
amazing. It's amazing.
But even Haagen-Dazs ain't on no Chef Ramsay
that's what I'm
shit.
saying. Yeah, I just find it amazing what it turned into.
Yeah,
you know
like cookies and cream is cookies
Literally,
and cream.
cookies
It's
and
just-
cream.
There's not like a,
Right.
none of that shit.
Yeah.
There's no extra sprinkles.
So So
And this was all off a dare.
it was kind of like, I bet you won't do it. So whatever. So we brought in this freezer. And in my head, it was not like, it wasn't supposed to be like
Rocket
a life-consuming thing.
Right.
We opened and I'm like, man, if I make an extra $300-$400 a week, I'm happy. This is like some shit I could give somebody a job, make a couple $100. So like 2 weeks after we opened, I get a phone call from this dude, Louis Aguirre from Deco Drive. And he was like, we heard about your ice cream store. We want to do a cover on it. And I was like, all right, cool. Comes, he does a cover. I'm not thinking that mainstream news, like, you know, all this shit's on the internet. You can look this shit up later if you want to see it. It's funny as fuck. This shit comes out, and then the next day we show up at the store. Like, we're unprofessional as fuck. You know, it's not even a legal store. We're trapping ice cream out of a graffiti shop, and we show up late. Like, we don't have store hours. We're not on Google. Like, we show up to the store, and there's a line down the street.
I love it. I fucking love it.
Now, what I didn't mention was in the beginning, so the whole concept of it was a hip hop ice cream shop. All of the flavors were named after artists. So I had like ASAP Rocky Road, Fat Joe Pistachio, Vanilla Ice Ice Baby, like, you know, that type of shit.
Fire.
So it's crazy. So I'm like, fuck, we got a line, and it's me and Jimbo now. We don't have employees yet. This is like in the beginning. We're there scooping ice cream. We sell out of ice cream. We have this little ice cream making machine. We don't have the capabilities of like, so I'm like, so I'm like, fuck, this could actually be something. Like, what am I gonna do? So like, I started making phone calls trying to find ice cream distributors that could like mass produce.
Okay.
So now I figure it out. I get the store running. We start expanding. We bring in other freezers, real equipment. We start treating it like a real business. 10 months in, an inspector walks in. They were like, oh, can we see your certificate of use? Can we see your tax resale permit? Can we see that? And I look at the lady and I'm like, huh? I said, you want my what? I pull out my head of my driver's license. I'm like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
She looks at me and she goes, something in Spanish, like, what is
Adios míos.
No, she says,
mío.
hijo. What does hijo mean?
Hijo, son.
She's like, hijo, you really don't know? And she goes, come outside. So I walk outside. She goes, and Wynwood's still ghetto, so it's not like we're in Miami Beach doing this. No, an inspector didn't show up for a fucking year. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's like, you need a license to fucking have a store. You can't, this is food. You could kill somebody. Like, do you have the health department thing at least? Do you have a food handler's license? And I'm like,
Nope.
the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Oh my God.
so she goes, listen, I'm gonna give you a bunch of websites. You can start to figure out how to do this. This place isn't licensed to be like a food establishment. I'll give you a warning. The next time somebody else comes back, they'll give you a warning, but use this time to like figure out how to actually do this the real way.
Get your shit together, yeah.
So now I'm like DJing and this, and now this ice cream shit, and then finally, bro, literally like 2 days before our cutoff, we got issued our certificate of use to be able to function and operate as a legal business. Boom, we're running. 2 weeks later, I get served with a lawsuit, right? Our Instagram page, Mr. Cream, fucking, you know, I told my boy, I need pictures of ice cream. Can you come in and take pictures? So my boy kind of fucked me over a little bit. You know, he took some pictures and he pulled some shit off of Google.
Damn.
I took a picture of pistachio ice cream that when we gave Joe his flavor, he came into the store. We did a whole thing. We premiered Fat Joe Pistachio. I have a whole series called Eats and Beats. We shot like a whole show.
Dope.
The last one we did was with OT Genesis. It's on my Instagram. I'll show you. But so that kind of went viral because now that the celebrities are coming into the store, it started
Picking up traction,
It started to pick up traction. So I get hit up from a lawyer. They sent me a paper. It was some famous photographer in Canada took a picture of pistachio for the news network. I posted the picture on my Instagram. I didn't know where it came from. I just posted a picture of ice cream.
Right.
But there's some shit called Pixie where you can reverse look up your picture.
Yes.
And bro, there was all these thousands of impressions. So they had all the details of suing for damage. I had to settle, deal with fucking a lawyer. Now I'm like, fuck, now I got to start taking this shit seriously. In the middle of all this shit, a guy comes into my store. He used to come in with his family often. He's now a good friend. His name's Matthew Croney. He's like a legendary consultant, fashion designer, all this shit.
Okay.
He goes to me, I want to do a merch capsule for Art Basel with Mr. Cream and Puma.
Dope.
The first thing I'm thinking is, this guy's full of shit, because why would anybody walk into an ice cream shop and want to do a merch capsule? In my head, I'm like,
Right.
you know, I'm already a little bit bitter now, and I know that people are full of shit and whatever.
Yeah, and you don't really know him. Like, you don't know his position and what he does.
So it's like 5 days now before Basel. He told me all the shit we were gonna do,
Right.
and people in his office were fucked up. I'm thinking he's like on some scam shit. So finally, at the last minute, he comes like walking into the store, and he's like, "Okay, tomorrow Usain Bolt is gonna be here. Saturday, we're doing a concert at RC Cola Plant, and it's gonna be A Boogie, Yo Gotti, and they're all gonna be wearing the Mr. Cream shit. And then Monday morning it goes live. It's in every sneaker palace, every this. And you gotta understand, like in my head, I'm kind of like, what the fuck?
Out of here. Right, yeah.
So the Mr. Cream brand blew the fuck up. Like after that weekend, we were everywhere, bro. Our clothes was everywhere. And it's crazy that whenever you Google the stuff, that's the first. I got more known in this market, I would say the last 6 years for ice cream than even DJing.
Dope.
Which was a crazy thing.
It's a good transition though.
Yeah, I got fucked after the pandemic because I was paying $3,000 rent.
Yeah.
And after the pandemic, my landlord raised it to $14,000
Oh shit.
for a store that's half the size of this place.
Because of the publicity and everything else.
The publicity and all the New Yorkers moving in, and he goes,
crazy.
"It's no longer $35 a square foot; it's $140 a square foot." So everything happens for a reason. We closed down, but we are opening back up, and then I'm also heavy in the food and beverage industry. And then October 7th, I'm opening a steakhouse down here.
Dope.
It's called My Way Italian. Thank you, bro.
On that, man.
It's a My Way Italian steakhouse. It's all themed after the Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Marilyn Monroe, like that.
Okay.
So it's got a real cool like
Vibe
to it and shit. So
Is it October 7th, you said?
yeah, I would love for y'all to come through
Yes.
and
I mean, so we can make it.
yeah, man. So
That's Kavez's birthday week.
That's my week. Yeah,
Yeah, it's birthday week.
we gonna do the birthday dinner there, bro. What's up?
Birthday
I'm
dinner.
down.
We got the Gainesville event.
Yeah, I can't believe I totally forgot about
Oh,
the whole
God,
Mr. Cream
October
shit.
7th, yeah, shit.
The
We in
Gainesville event is over at what time? 6, I think it is.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. I think it's on the DJs.
We got a DJ at Gainesville. We got to drive our ass down to fucking Miami. Hey, we've done
we
worse.
have a team. The team could go to Gainesville. We could go to we'll figure it out.
We could do that
We'll
too,
figure it
yeah.
out. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Y'all play sports? What are you talking
No,
about?
no. So we
um,
have a joint going with cookies.
Dope.
Yeah,
So they do tailgates for
do
like
tailgates
UF parties and the UF games and stuff like that. So we got to go to Gainesville for that tailgate with cookies. So
Bro, their branding is incredible.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're gonna figure it out.
we gonna make
We'll
it
figure it
happen.
out.
If they ever need a Miami guy, I'm just saying I'm here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean,
No, now you family. So
family, you know what I'm saying?
You didn't come from Bobby, you know what I'm saying? Is hey yo, you know what I mean by that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but either way, you
so
family. Man.
back to the music stuff. Besides Pitbull, who else you produce for?
I worked with Pitbull. It was crazy because I was working with my fucking idol, which was Timberland. My cousin was his barber, and it was crazy. It was like Christmas Eve one night, and I'm sitting in my cousin's car. He was inside cutting his hair, and I was listening to beats in the car, and knock on the window, and I look over, it's fucking Tim, like right here at my face. And he's like, "What is that?" And I was like,
It was your beat.
It was my beat. I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? Like,
Hey, how you doing?
You know, nice shit I made." He goes, "You were the DJ from the Forge, right?" Because one night Tim was at the Forge, and I did a whole Timberland set. I played like all Timberland music for. So he remembered me from that, and he's like, "What is that beat right there?" And I go, "Some shit I made." He goes, "I need that sample," and I go, "Okay." He's like, "Come to the Hit Factory," and that's how me and Timberland got to meet. So I worked. So originally I worked with Pitbull.
So let's go. Well, let's back it up a little bit.
Okay.
So what was the sample and did it actually get put out?
So he recorded it for this. He was gonna do. What was the last shock value? There was a 2 or 3. I don't remember.
Yeah.
He was working on another. He was
I
working
think
3. So he was working on another shock value. It never came out. He cut a crazy ass song, but it was funny because his DJ Freestyle Steve ended up putting it out a year later as like a DJ single, featuring Timberland. It was called Scream Out Loud. It was some bugged out like Middle Eastern sample. It's nothing that anybody. It was like some obscure shit.
Right.
Those are the best samples, though.
Yeah, but that's how I got in the door with him. The crazy shit was, so when I started working with him, he was like, this was like after Sexy Back era, and he was kind of like on a hiatus, like reshaping his sound. But he was still working with a ton of international artists, like shit that we never heard here. Like he was working with, I don't know if you heard of that guy, Timothy, he's like a Russian rapper, but he's like a flow rider over there. And then he was working with like this Mexican pop star named Noelia. So it was crazy. So he had me on all these projects. I didn't know the magnitude of any of the people I was working with, but like You know, like the first project I did was working with this Mexican artist Noelia, and I didn't know what it was. The record came out, and like within the first 3 days had multiple millions of streams. And then he was also working with that chick Agnes Mo, who's like a huge. I think it's somewhere in like the Asian side of stuff.
Okay.
I think she started dating Chris Brown at the time too, and
Okay.
so I did a record for her named Coke Bottle that it was crazy. Like the most Twitter followers I've ever got was when she tweeted me like,
Dope.
"Oh, this record's dope," and then I did the remix of it, and the remix of Coke Bottle had T.I. on it. It was T.I., Tim, and Agnes. It was a remix record. So so I started getting crazy love from that. But then Pitt was one of my close friends, like growing up. Like the demo that got him signed to his first record deal at Luke Records, we did it in my mom's living room. I had a 8-track, little Tascam 8-track, and
The old mixtape machines. Yeah.
So me and Pitt started working together. And I did a couple records for him. One of the bigger ones wasn't big on the mainstream. It was a record called Pause that was on one of his biggest albums. That was my first platinum plaque. But it was crazy because that record went viral in the Zumba world. So Zumba made it their like title flagship thing. It was on their video game, their dance challenges, all the conventions, and it was on the album. So the album went multi-platinum, and then I got to learn a lot about streaming because I didn't know how the new industry worked. When you start to see residuals coming from video games, it's way different. Like the video game shit is fucking
insane.
So I worked with Pitt, I worked with Nina Sky, I worked with Rick Ross, I worked with Flow Rider, I worked with
So how many plaques you got? Let's talk your shit right now. Let's talk your shit, DJ Effect. Come on,
Plaques?
we did the ice cream thing.
How many millions?
We're doing a steak. You know what I'm saying?
Millions as far as units.
So
units.
millions as far as units, it was weird because it was in the transition, but physical copies was like close to 4 million.
Okay.
But streams now was over like 156 million.
And going.
And still growing. So
No, streaming units is still the same thing no matter what.
to me, units hold a better place in my heart because it's tangible.
It's a physical
right, it's a physical
medium.
thing.
Yeah.
It's like the vinyl thing.
Yeah.
It's physical, stuff like that. Right.
Yeah.
But
I ain't gonna lie. The first time
like I said, numbers don't lie.
when I got my
all those
first
numbers,
Physical is better. Yeah.
when I got my first plaque, I was crying like a bitch, bro. To me, because that was magic. Like DJing is one thing, but like when you looked at like the Quincy Joneses and all that, like a plaque is different.
Right,
It's
you
like
also look at your life when you started. You said you couldn't walk. You was in a wheelchair. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And then music is what took you out of your chair in a way.
Of course.
Stuff like that.
You got to get thrown the fuck out of your comfort zone, bro. That's the only way. Like I'm trying to make myself get out of my comfort zone again because I want to do something. I want another challenge now.
Right.
That's why I started doing this restaurant shit. But like, my heart's still music. I still in my head I have to figure out somehow how to get a Grammy.
You still actively talk to Pitbull?
Not as much. It's not really political. It's
Schedule.
No, I'm a big believer in people need to make time for people that been there from day one, and when they don't, it's open.
I feel you.
Hey,
There's no.
Listen, we know each other since '93.
Yeah.
And when the idea came to me about doing this, I reached out to him, and he didn't give me an answer when we started. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and we didn't speak to each other for like a couple of years just because of family and stuff like that. Nothing bad stuff like that.
There's
but
absolutely.
It's just like you're definitely right.
There's absolutely no ill will. Like it's crazy because there was like one period where I didn't speak to Pitt for almost 5 years, but he texts my mother every Mother's Day, Happy Mother's Day, Mama. Right. Like so, like he still, he still acknowledges my family and shit. But like, it was weird because after I got my first hit or big check because of him, I thought it was gonna make us closer, but I think he kind of made it. I don't want to say he made it seem like it's all business. I don't know. It just got weird. Like, I would not have gave up the plaque. I would have not gave up the plaque for the relationship. But in one way, I kind of do miss having my friend.
Absolutely.
And I wonder if I didn't do the record, would we still be close?
Right.
Because there was arguments over splits and publishing, having nothing to do with me, but my management.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if that's it or whatever it is. I wish him the best. And I'm super proud of him because as another Miami guy coming up from this market, he did help put us on the map, and I know that him and Laz are super, super tight, and they're always
right.
And I've asked Laz 100 times, like, yo, does Pitt have any issue with me? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's not. There's no known
issue.
Like I just, you
It
know,
could be just
I do miss my homeboy. You know
it
what I'm
could be a
saying? Like,
communication thing, and it's a sit down that needs to happen. And,
Yeah.
and chop it up and say what it is, and then you keep it moving. Sometimes,
people get busy. You know, days
People get
become months,
busy.
months become years,
and then
then
before you know it, time has passed. 10 years has passed, and you're like, damn, like I missed all this. You know what I mean? So hopefully, you know, you guys can work that shit out. And
yeah, man, that's my guy.
Right. You've been on Rap City too, right?
Yeah,
Was it Rap City?
I did BET Rap City when I was a kid, bro, under
Yeah,
18. Yeah,
18.
I can't believe I wore a jersey that big, bro. I
all-
look back at the clips, I'm like, God damn,
I think we all
big ass hat, big ass jersey.
Lucky I was big, so
I was looking like
it was
Soulja
big
Boy
on
and
me,
shit.
yeah,
So before we continue, let's get on to the sponsors real quick.
All right, today's episode is sponsored by Old School Tattoos, also sponsored by TR808 Radio Underground Station, the DJ Plug, get all DJ merchandise, party equipment rented, and also Bang Energy Drink.
Get your bang.
bang, bang, bang.
Actually, we did something with Bang at the ice cream shop. We were doing a Bang Energy float.
Oh wow.
They're good people, bro.
Yes.
They promote heavy.
Yeah, they out there. They outside.
Yeah.
If you could be stuck in one eternity decade of music, what would it be?
Damn, that's a tough one. Because there's the one side of me that's gonna say the club decade, but then there's the other side of me that's the music lover decade. Music lover decade, 90s. Club DJ era was the early 2000s. That whole fucking energy of Little John, that shit, that era in the club,
crunk-
being
the
a
crunk
Miami, the
stuff,
crunk
yeah.
era. Till this day, there's no energy that shit brings. But I don't listen to it in my car. So I'm gonna say 90s, 100% 90s.
Yeah.
What is your intake of the love and hate about the club scene?
I think it's like anything, bro. You know, with every relationship, you're gonna have growing pains, and you know, the love hate thing with the nightclubs is it's never been the people. It's just been the business. You know, like so. I mean, it is what it is.
Do you like when people request songs?
As long as they do it politely. I don't want fucking Bad Bunny flashing in my eyeballs 100 times a night, or something. You know what I think you should play next? Like you know that shit.
Right.
Do you have this song and they show you some random shit on YouTube?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. There's been nights where somebody actually comes up to me at the right time with the right request, and I wouldn't have thought about playing that. And I'm like, oh shit, that's not a bad fucking idea.
Right.
It happens to me a lot at 11 because it's an after-hour spot.
Okay.
So like sometimes I'll go from like one club to another, and I've been DJing now for 10 hours straight. It's 6 in the morning. You're gonna forget about shit. So I'm not mad at the request shit.
Right. Where do you see radio at in 5 years from now?
I just think it's evolution, right? I don't think radio is gonna be radio. The title of it will be radio, but like to me, radio is Spotify. Radio is Apple Music. I don't think the having to be on a transmitter on FM is what's considered radio. I just think it's just turning into something else. Right. I think AI is gonna fuck. Well, I don't want to say fuck it up because if you're young, you won't know the difference. But if you're old, it's gonna fuck up a lot of things.
Yeah, you could be able to tell that old feel that you got from radio or.
Like AI knows you better than you know you. Right. So that's kind of a crazy thing if you really think about it. You know, I use AI now on a daily. Like it's there to help, you know, but
it's learning every day too.
Yeah. If it learns what you like, then the point of us having to figure out how to do that, if that goes away, what is the organic feel going to be as a DJ?
Right.
You know?
What about DJs 5 years from now?
DJing 5 years from now, I think it's what it's gonna be like it was the last 5 years. There's two sides of it. You got the real passionate people that stick to the craft and the art form of it, and then the other thing is like the actor DJ. I do see the actor DJing thing getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I'm saying? Because like if I'm a 20-year-old kid, and I'm starting to get into DJ game, if you look at it from a success level standpoint, you kind of would rather be Khaled than be somebody like Craze. But for me, from an artist purist standpoint, I would rather have Craze's technical abilities.
Right.
But a kid would rather, you know, be able to bring out the whole ocean with Khaled and eat luxury food and travel the world in private jets. But because he has the DJ in front of his name, a young kid still looks at him as a DJ, even though he's not behind turntables.
Right.
So I think it's just it's growing differently.
Do you think there should be a test for people who want to become DJs? Because like right now we're buying vinyl, right? And we see the prices on vinyl compared to back then, and we buy it for different reasons. We buy it, but you can actually become a DJ tomorrow. Just buy the right
laptop.
equipment, the laptop, and you have everything I have that I bought in my fucking in room. All these records, you can get it in one day, right? And you put the word DJ in front of your name. Should it be some kind of a quiz you have to do, a class, or a class maybe, or maybe DJ first on turntables? I mean, I feel like there should be something out there for us to basically keep this culture alive.
I always thought it was weird that like a restaurant or a club has to pay licensing fees to play music.
Right.
But
That's because of the.
But DJs don't have to pay licensing. I'm almost at a point where I would rather pay $1,000 a year to be a DJ to weed out 99% of the fucking retards that come in here and water the game down.
Right.
Let me not use the word retard. That's a bad word. I don't want to say that. 99% of the people that come in here and fuck it up and they look at our craft like it's a joke.
Right.
Like it was like 20 years ago, if you said you were a DJ, people were intrigued by that.
Right.
Now it's like if you say you're a DJ, oh, my son's a DJ, the Valet Parker's a DJ,
Yeah,
and then
everybody.
the whole girl porn star DJ, actor DJ, the Paris Hilton.
Right.
It's like, but I also blame that on the term. And I also this is something I've been fighting for 10 years on the Grammy Association as like the voting member. Why is it in every genre of music there's subgenres? Like house music, there's EDM, deep house, tech house.
hip-hop.
You have jazz, contemporary jazz, but hip hop's hip hop. You
Right.
can't say Soulja Boy and Jay-Z are the same.
Right.
So something I've been fighting for is definition, right? So it's like I've always said the term DJ, they should come up with new terms for the word DJ. Because the term DJ, everybody knows, stands for disc jockey.
Disc jockey.
Now, first of all, no one plays disc anymore.
Right.
So that's just wrong in itself.
Right.
Everything in life has evolved except the word DJ.
DJ, right.
Yeah.
And I think if they broke it down into different categories, it would make more sense.
Right.
Like a guy whose his technical ability of putting together records should be called one thing.
Right.
Khaled's thing should be one thing.
Right.
An EDM guy who does finger hearts and plays a pre-recorded set in the back should be one thing.
The lady, the girl on IG shaking her titties.
I'm not knocking any of that shit.
DJing.
DJ.
Just like right. It's like in entertainment, you have a
Right.
singer, you have a rapper, a performer,
Right.
a DJ. Like they
a
should
writer. Yeah.
they should have multiple subgenres of what DJs are, and I think it would make people less pissed off.
He's true.
It's the truth.
It's true.
It's like
every
hip-hop-
genre of music besides hip hop.
It's like
is
hip
broken
hop.
down.
It's like hip hop and the word DJ never evolved, but everything else
Right.
evolved into 200
even 50
different
years
variations.
later. Even 50 years later.
Well, you know,
I mean, look at our world now. We got man, woman, someone that identifies as a wolf. I saw that shit yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just all this shit. Like,
Yeah.
if you could be 27 different genders,
Right.
why is DJ just DJ?
Right. This Jackie Khaled.
what up? This jockey correct?
Yeah, this Jackie Khaled.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's the same thing like you said with hip hop, especially in the Grammys. I think nowadays, if they feel you're urban, they just throw you in the hip hop genre.
It's crazy.
When a lot of the hip hop right now is really R&B.
You can't say NBA, Youngboy, and Nas are the same. It's not.
Even Post
like-
Malone.
different-
Post Malone, he's a great artist, but he's not a hip hop
He's
artist.
more like an alternative R&B.
Yeah, I think he's like
type of-
alternative pop. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's
But he-
not
but
hip
he's
hop.
But
But
he's
he's a-
still
he's a
labeled as
hip-hop-
hip hop
hip-hop.
because he has tattoos and he, you know,
Right.
like it's fucked up.
Yeah, he's down in fucking Budweiser's and Newports all day. You know
All
what I
day.
mean?
But he don't think he's hip hop though.
No, he don't.
I don't know if he thinks so, but he's still category in the hip hop.
I actually like his shit. I think his
Yeah,
shit's
me
dope.
too.
No, my kids, my daughter loves him.
Yeah, he's
my,
one of the
even
few.
my wife went to go see
He
him.
made
not
his
too
own
long.
lane.
He made his own lane. That's
Yeah,
cool.
so that's what's dope.
That's cool,
Yeah.
but his category still falls under hip hop.
Under hip hop, and I don't think he's not hip hop to me.
And if I would have his vinyl, it wouldn't be my hip hop section.
No, absolutely not.
I also don't understand. This is something that I noticed this year, the agenda that they're pushing in hip hop. Like this year was the first year. Rolling Loud's been around for a long time, but it was just the first year that I DJ'd at the festival multiple days, like every single day when it was in Miami.
Okay.
And I noticed that all the new artists, they're pushing this whole like dark, depressed, satanic agenda. Like from the visuals to the colors, everything is red. All of the visuals, I have images on my phone, and I don't like. I come from wanting to like like from the era I came up was like partying, being around girls, being fly, being rich, but this whole like it's almost like gothic emo. I'm not saying it's satanic. I'm saying it's like it's very like hip hop. The visual of today's hip hop is very like Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay.
Like I'm waiting for like, you know, one of those guys that come on stage and bite the head off a bat, like Ozzy Osbourne. Like it's not fun. The frequencies is all low frequencies. It's slow.
Well, we need to talk to DJ Five Venom. He's a good friend of ours. We need to talk to him.
That's my guy. That's who actually got me over the fence. He's a good homie. Me and him are actually planning a big charity golf tournament coming in January to raise money for the hospital as well. Five Venoms and me, we work together.
Let me know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I golf, but I ain't the best, but I go out there and I do.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
It's about having fun.
Yeah,
We ain't talking about miniature golf. We talking about golf.
No,
man.
golf. I got my clubs in my
ain't talking about
car.
glove-
They in
the
my
gl-
trunk
the
all
glove-
day. All day, my golf clubs is in my trunk all the time.
That's 400 miles away.
Yeah, right now, but they there.
Here, we're
You know what I mean?
special edition, Miami edition. We
I'll
can't forget
show
about
up.
that.
No, absolutely. That'd be amazing.
Me and Venice were talking about it, and he was just like, it's like there's like the cycles, right? I guess if it stayed the same of what we like, it wouldn't be new, but there's definitely a detach because in the clubs right now, in the current clubs right now, even with the young people, we're playing majority of old music. I'm not saying it's an old school night, but old records are just hitting more than new records.
Right now, yeah.
Like the Uzi I Wanna Rock record, that record was like everything for 3 months, and now they don't even play it no
It's
more.
done. Right. It's done. So how do you and Bobby
Bobby.
Trends? I always do that.
Different Bobby.
Trends. I know
Different
Bobby.
So
Sorry, Bobby Trends get together.
the vegan warrior.
Big war. Yeah.
So I met him originally through a phone call years ago when Jessica Rosenblum was managing me when he was working with Flex, and I knew Bobby Trends first as a guy who worked with Flex before I knew him as a DJ.
Right.
And he called me, like Flex wanted to know what was like the big records in Miami at the time. I gave him a list, whatever. But then I started paying attention to Bobby. But Bobby really got heavy on my radar again when he got sick during the pandemic, because I started seeing everybody praying for him. He got COVID really bad. And then, I started following him, and then I watched his like road to recovery and all that shit. And it was random because I was like super inspired by what he was doing because, to me, even though he's like an OG, he was kind of like a new DJ on the scene, especially when it came to like the mainstream. Like, to be honest with you, like I feel like even though Flex is his mentor, he's just as big as Flex is now. Right. Like at least in my head with the new generation, you know what I'm saying? So it was crazy because my homeboy DJ Junior, who's a big Latin DJ down here.
We tried to get him on the podcast, but
Yeah.
the schedule wouldn't work out.
He's probably sleeping. I'm just kidding. Junior hit me and he was like, yo man, Bobby Trends, you know about Shake the Block, right? I was like, yeah, I think it's a dope movement, what he's doing. And he's like, would you want to get down with that? And my initial response was like, I always felt kind of weird about DJ crews because for the most part, from what I've learned, DJ crews always benefit the founder of the DJ crew more than the DJs.
Okay.
And not in a bad way, it's just business and whatever. So I was like, I'm open to anything, but I wanna have a conversation about it, and I wanna see what's entitled, what's entitled, and what's it about, because you are who you surround yourself with, and I want to make sure that like, whoever I don't know Bobby like good at this point,
right.
and I'm open to a conversation.
Right.
So Junior put us on a group text. Bobby flew down the next day. So number one, the fact that he took time from everything he has going on to get on a plane and come down here to have a conversation, not a phone call.
Video chat, on that, right?
Number one, that spoke an immense amount of volume.
Right.
Then when I started having a conversation, the first 2-hour conversation with Bobby had nothing to do with DJing. He's talking about being vegan and healthy and, wake up call from having COVID. I had COVID, not as bad as him, but I was pretty fucked up, and, just having regular conversation, just like as a friend and a homie. Yeah. And it wasn't just like straight to business. This is what I need. This is what we're going to do.
Right.
This is the record we pushing or whatever it is.
Yeah. So I started asking him what his objective and what his goal was with the crew. And the way that it presented itself did not sound like any of the quote unquote sales pitches I heard before. It wasn't a sales pitch. His shit was like, I have guys in my crew that are brand new DJs. I have guys in my crew that are legacy DJs. It's about putting together the right team to have a family, to be able to break bread, get money on a bigger thing together, build a platform, build a community. And, we hit it off right away. So didn't say yes right away. I thought about it. Me and Bobby kept building for like literally only a week. But the more that I spoke to the dude, I realized that he was educated. He was not stupid. He has his shit together as a man, like, family guy, the kids, and,
Right.
And to me, something like being vegan is interesting because I don't look at it as a person that just doesn't eat meat. I look at it as like lifestyle choice and discipline. So if you're disciplined enough to like give up food, I'm a fat ass. I eat everything. So like if you're disciplined enough to do that, you should be disciplined enough to build a fucking empire. And I watched what he did in such a small amount of time that it put the battery in my back. And after I started talking to Bobby and we DJ'd together, and then I actually saw he's an actual DJ too, I said to myself, okay, I'm around somebody else that is gonna motivate me and put the battery in my back to be better. You know, he was trying to convince me to make lifestyle choices for food and certain things, health-wise, because health is wealth. And I felt like I needed that inspiration. So it was crazy. I was more drawn to Bobby as a friend from the standpoint of like surrounding myself with better people to become better than this is like a DJ crew. It was almost like some life coach shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So ever since then, I felt like I built a better friendship with him than guys I've been rocking with for 20 fucking years, just because when you surround yourself with people that try to bring out the better in you, that's more important than people who are just trying to be around you for what you bring to the table.
Right.
So as far as the whole Shake the Block thing, I just like it more because to me, it's not like, oh, let's throw this big weekend and we're gonna all go to a resort and a label's gonna pay for it and we're gonna fucking tell you to play this record and you're gonna go home. It's more about like, yo, man, watch your shit. You're getting fat. You look unhealthy. Like, we need to motivate each other to be better role models, better parents, better friends, better colleagues. So that to me was important.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was what drew me to that crew. Because in
to that family.
Yeah, because like in my whole career, you know, the only affiliation I ever had was Core DJs. And Core DJs it's not really a DJ crew, it's more like a community. So I see it different. But you know,
that came from technician DJs, Core DJs.
Core DJs, I believe. So Tony Neal.
Tony Neal.
Yeah, Tony Neal. Okay. Yeah, I was actually the second Core DJ to sign when I was on tour with Smitty. Okay. We stopped, I don't remember if it was Tampa or Tallahassee. And that week, Tony announced he was starting the Core DJs. It was Tony Neal. The first person he put on was Felicia Monet, who later on in life was one of my co-hosts on radio.
Okay.
And then I was the third Core DJ after that. And then it grew into like, you know, thousands of fucking people. And salute to Tony, because he really figured out how to shake the labels and really make a business out of what Core DJs is. And it's not a business for just Tony. He made a lot of people also, you know, like accelerate from the Core DJs. So shout out to Tony Neal.
Right. Talking about shaking, we're talking about Bobby now. Bobby Trends, stop looking for another podcast. We are your podcast, okay? Stop playing, Bobby. We are the podcast you're looking for. I'm going to say it again. Back to our podcast.
Yeah, Bobby, we had a great conversation with Bobby.
We did.
I was in New York, so.
And
everything you said is everything exactly what he said. You know what I mean, on why he built and started the crew.
Like,
so
the guy's like Gandhi. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I feel like he like could sit Indian style and float. It's like crazy.
Right. It was after we interviewed him, we had a great. We talked on for another hour.
Yeah, another hour.
Yeah. Afterwards,
I did a half hour before and another hour after.
Yeah, another hour after that was amazing conversation. He shared a lot of personal things with us and his ideas on what he's doing and he's when you talk to him, what I learned was he's engaged in the conversation. Right. So he's not okie doking.
Yeah, he's not doing this.
He's not. He's listening
he's
to
not
you.
on the phone. He's actually
he's engaged in the conversation.
He's definitely a deep dude.
Yeah, which is great because you feel like you have his time. You know what I'm saying?
I think, believe it or not, I think him getting sick and almost dying changed a lot. I didn't know him good before, but I definitely like. I heard he was kind of like a goon back in the day.
He was about
that life. But that near-death experience, I definitely think changed. I mean, it should change anybody, bro. If you have any, dance with the devil, or death, or whatever you want to call it, like it puts a lot of things into perspective. Because no matter what we do all day long, if it's over, what are we working for?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we definitely understand what it means about time and family and things like that. Because and two, as we get older, we want to make more time for family, more time for friends, more people time for people we actually care about. Of
course,
and those things are definitely super important.
Definitely. Sample time?
Let's get into some games, man. Let's break it
up. Get the samples. So we're going to play 4 samples.
I got to get my life together right now.
You want to drink of water?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely think so.
His name was the artist who used the sample, or the name of the song if you know it. Multiple people use the sample, so you can tell me who you might think who used it, I'm gonna tell you now. I'm not looking for that sample.
Nah,
and
don't worry.
somebody
Just pick it, because he want to be all like militant.
He
on
don't know
it.
the samples either.
I don't. I'm hearing them new with you, so we in the same
I just
boat.
want to. I'm gonna let you know now. If I don't know
We'll do some
it,
water too.
don't tell it to me anyways. I'm gonna call you later and I'm gonna tell you when it hits me.
No.
I just don't want to look like I don't
Nah,
know my shit.
We're gonna play it. We're gonna play it.
We're gonna play
We're
it.
gonna play it. We gotta play it. That's part of the game.
Yeah,
Okay,
part
let's
of
go.
Let's go with the first sample. Okay. Stop it.
I mean, obviously I know what it is. Now I don't know what the fuck it is. I mean, I know what it is. Damn, y'all
Play it again,
making
Kay.
Crazy. No, he don't need to play it again. I know what it is.
Sure.
I'm just having a moment. Give me a second. Damn, I feel like I'm letting hip hop down right now.
Ding, ding, ding.
The crazy part about it, I'm seeing the vision right now in front of me.
Yeah.
The visual, the person.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm bugging because I see it. I see it in my computer in my original samples folder. And
You don't
I'm,
understand what I'm
No,
saying.
yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Play it again, Kay. Play one more time. Play the sample.
my boy D Nat will be kicking my ass right now. He's an Orlando guy. I
word.
want y'all to meet him.
Yeah,
He-
definitely,
he's a
definitely.
legendary producer for Bad Boy. He actually sampled that shit before, but if he was here right now, he would be so upset that I don't know what it is right now.
Oh, no, link us up, man.
Yeah, for
Check
sure.
this out.
Are you throwing in the towel?
Throwing a towel?
I'm throwing in the towel
Play it.
because I'm
Play the
hungover.
song.
Of course.
All right, stop it, because you know Jay will show up on our fucking front porch.
I mean, that's a
He'll
good thing.
float in. He'll float in out of nowhere.
It's Jay-Z and Too Short. Recently used also by DJ Khaled for that Billy Ocean record. I think it was.
think somebody
Fat
else-
Joe and
somebody else did it too.
Somebody else, yeah. But those
Yeah.
are the two that you know.
The main joints, but that
main
these
joint
two short joints
the podcast
for us.
for us.
The ones
I'm
that
trying to
matter.
remember. I know DJ Clue had a dope ass R&B remix of it on a mixtape back in the day too. I'm trying to remember who it was. Was it with? Anyways, whatever.
All right, let's go second sample, okay? Play it again, okay? Let it rock a little bit. Hold on. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. Let's go. All right, stop it.
I mean, I know Bone Thugs and Harmony sampled that with the what's it called, Buddha Lovers on the
Okay,
East
well,
1999
right,
album,
right.
and then also
There's one artist.
There's one that June specifically looking for.
I think he might be somewhere around it.
it was around that same time.
Yeah.
No. There was the one I'm looking for is an R&B and is a hip hop R&B artist.
Can you play it for 5 seconds longer? I feel like right when the
It's
intricate
copyright,
part.
man. He
Of,
definitely getting flagged already.
Let's see. But you gotta let it breathe. See if he can get it. See if let it hold up.
Just from right there.
Doesn't the loop start right after that, or no?
Well, some people have used that after it. Yeah. Yeah, that's so right about here is where. Yeah.
Like off top. I mean, I didn't even look at the name of but I already knew who the
You might as well just tell me. At least I got one
Play
sample.
the song. Play the song.
one dude ain't right.
Yo, this remix goes out to everybody
shit.
out
Yeah,
there
my bad.
that call it.
My bad.
Nah,
Digging.
Yeah, Nas over there. See, and Jay-Z was over here.
Yeah, we got the.
That's what I was
coasters.
saying. The clue.
The coasters.
But Kels was on the hook on that one.
Yeah, right.
That's why I said one dude ain't right.
I'm laying hip hop down right now. I'm
One
sorry.
doing
But let's even though we in the middle of the game right now, so what's the question? Okay, so artists, right? Would you play? Would you still play R. Kelly music in the club? Like,
I do all the time.
okay, because there's some
Listen,
DJs
man.
that-
At the end of the day, like you can't. You know, I would still watch the Cosby Show. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
right,
Like,
and that's what I say too.
yeah.
You know, some people still sit down.
R.
and watch
Kelly
Cosby.
is one of the most talented songwriters of all fucking times. His life choices is fucked up, yes. Does not take away from his fucking craftsmanship. Now, when I listen to some of the records, like, you know,
Then you're
now
thinking
it's
about-
a little
Think about it.
weird.
Right.
Like when he wrote AJ Nothing But a Number for Aaliyah and then knowing that,
Right.
you know, but I mean, Step in the Name of Love, and he ain't say nothing wrong there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Well, he might be stepping into something.
Yeah. Yeah, but he plays it.
And when his
I play. He don't like what I play.
No, because sometimes it's like
tells him no, but his body
tell
says
you,
yes. You know what I
right.
mean?
No,
Like,
yeah, it's a, like I want to play Fiesta because that's a classic joint.
it's the shit.
Play this shit, dog.
You know what I'm
Tell
saying?
Play it.
But I gotta be-
I'll bring the vinyl.
No, I got the vinyl.
Okay.
I'm gonna play it this
It's
week.
all about how you play shit too, because if you can make fun of yourself for doing it, like when that little submarine thing exploded,
yeah.
that night I dropped the Titanic theme song at the club. I did it. It was fucked up,
Right.
you know, but like it was how I set it up and
You
played
got
it.
video of that?
Yeah, of course.
we
yeah.
need that for. We need that for.
Yeah, I mean, you just
All right,
Send them the
all right, so Fiesta's going in the crate. It's going
Go
back
in
in
the,
the
put that shit in the
100%.
crate, and I'll sing this shit with you. You want me to?
Yeah, because we're doing vinyl parties now. So I'm gonna take it out. I'll dust it, give it a nice little rub down, pause.
Polish it real good.
Yeah, I
Rub
mean,
it down, polish it real good.
Pause.
the original and the remix.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
right.
saying? Like,
You know what I'm saying? I call Kelly, how you doing, dog?
Right, you know what I mean? Been a long time, my
bro,
guy.
that Best of Both Worlds album
right.
was
It's been a long time. I haven't wiped me down.
that was 2 full Memorial weekends.
Yo,
Yeah.
that Best of Both Worlds. I remember that weekend I had went to New York at Flex, played that joint, the Best of Both Worlds single, for like a half hour.
Yep.
When
Bro,
I got
somebody
back,
watching me?
when I got back, I hit up my Def Jam rep, which at the time was Rob Love and Sam Crespo.
Rob Lowe, yeah.
I hit him up. I was like, yo, I need that shit this week in my fucking
That's the one
house.
that had somebody's girls at this club shaking her ass.
Yep.
Somebody
Yeah,
girl
girls
is
at
at this
this
party. Yeah,
party,
dope joint.
shaking her
But
ass in
just
VIP.
the sonics and from the Best of Both Worlds song that
Talking about the actual intro of the Best of Both
Yeah.
Yeah,
Worlds.
yeah, you're talking about the intro, yeah. But I'm talking about that one
that
other
shit
song.
was
yeah.
fucking Flex dropped like
Forgot
1,000
about
bars.
that. That shit's hard.
No, that beat is fucking
Yeah.
fire. So
Yeah,
I
play
called-
that shit too.
I might drop it. But I'll play to somebody goes at this party. That's a dope joint. But I hit up Crespo and Rob. I was like, yo, I need that shit like right now. So they got it to me. Shout out to Rob Love. Always been an amazing dude, man. Real good dude.
OG.
Yeah, man. Let's go to the third sample, okay?
The Roots, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah. No,
right,
nah,
he is right. He's right, but
He
what I'm
got,
looking
he got
for.
one. We need a bell.
Remember-
Ding, 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 ding.
Really about he got.
You said name the sample. If there's 5, I got the one. You know
the
what I'm saying?
one.
See, me, I don't care.
No,
I'm like,
yeah.
you got it.
Right, but
He
but
wants
we-
a specific
Right,
one.
but where we at? Where we at? Because I didn't
no,
even
I
know the
don't
roots.
even-
I have a
So you
confession.
heard that and
I have a
heard it.
confession.
Go ahead.
I didn't know that Erykah Badu, Roots, Scott Storch. I didn't know that was a sample. I thought because Scott Storch was bragging about playing it.
Right.
I didn't know that they sampled
Right.
it or
They
he
sampled it.
replayed it.
Yeah,
replayed
we
it.
replayed it,
I
right.
didn't know that.
But we in 305. So play the 305 record right now, please.
Play it.
Yeah,
They can take off the
Pitbull
handcuffs
and Trick
now.
Daddy, baba.
Trick, Peter, Khaled, Miami, movement, better say.
You're stopping now. We definitely ain't taking that one.
I'm about to let down my whole city because I'm about to be. I'm always about keeping it real. I never heard that in my
Never heard
life.
that? That's on Pitbull's, I think.
It's an album filler.
And the crazy shit is,
album
my old roommate when I was a JIT, who was Pitt's DJ Ideal. I don't know if you remember Ideal,
Ideal, yeah,
who did
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
The Bottom
Yeah,
Bitch
yeah,
series.
yeah.
I heard every Pitt record ever. I've never heard that.
Never heard that?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
My bad.
They're like, yo, pick some.
Maybe that's
Dior.
why Pitt's mad at me. 'Cause I didn't hear that song.
You're not playing that song. Right?
It's a dope record, though. It's a dope.
Yeah, it's a dope record. Let's go to 4th one. Oh, stop that shit.
Again, multiple people use this, but I'm looking for one person.
So one was City Girls.
Right.
And the other one was T.I. with that Rico Love did.
And before that.
Okay, we balling in this bit, but a lot of people from New Orleans. use
New Orleans.
that. New Orleans.
That sample
use
was
that
used a
sample.
lot.
Yeah, no, but it's one person from the South I'm looking for.
Did Manny Fresh produce it?
No, nope.
Hey, that's a classic right there.
Don't do it.
You loop that, you got a hit.
Yeah.
It's off
Yo,
rip. Off rip.
From the Rolly record. You heard the Rolly record?
Oh,
You know what I just realized?
yo, that's it right there.
Rico Love did Ballin' and he did the City Girls record
Right.
with that same sample.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
everybody uses that. That's a New Orleans.
He got a 2-for-1
staple.
deal.
Right.
That's when it comes to freaking
Bogo.
what do they call it? Yeah, Bob and
Like,
Free.
oh, I done use this. Use it again.
Oh, the New Orleans bounce. When you comes to New Orleans bounce, that sample right there, they gonna twerk. It's gonna
Right,
happen.
right.
So which is the one that you wanted?
The David Banner record.
Play it.
Oh yeah.
Slow down like a mug.
And they chopped it good.
Chop
Yeah,
in.
that shit's fire.
Still,
I gotta pull that David Banner vinyl too.
I didn't notice that. I never.
you know, shit for the Sunday record. The
For,
Sunday jam.
for the brunch.
Yeah, for the brunch.
Where's the invite, bro? I like food and music.
There's no food. It's only it's a liquid
we
brunch.
call it a liquid brunch.
It's a liquid brunch.
You know what I mean? It's a liquid brunch.
Whenever you don't
but
let
if
it,
you still got your
you want-
vinyl,
yes.
then we want to have you come
Yes.
through.
Yes,
1000%.
And then you can come too. Yes.
Absolutely.
We'll just put it out there. We
I
actually
want
don't-
any reason
We
to
do
come to
even
Orlando.
right when you come to Orlando.
Right.
Let us know.
bring a crate
Open
or two,
house. Right. Exactly.
and we got a spot. In
Why don't
Orlando.
y'all open a Mr. Cream in Orlando? Let's make the business deal.
So,
on
hey,
campus.
shit, we could talk after the podcast.
We down for whatever. We definitely
We can
down
put the
for
cream right here, the ice cream right here in the podcast. Fuck,
Oh,
you know what I'm
facts.
saying?
You got T-shirts, you got logos, you got
That's
no, fucking send it in.
all of our merch is Puma.
But what he's saying
Oh,
is,
fucking good. You talking to the fucking.
I take my Adidas off,
He
okay?
take his Adidas tat off.
but what he's saying is open ice cream
No, I know
shop.
what he's
No,
saying.
you know what he's saying, no.
But for
We know what
now,
he's saying.
we could give us the logo.
Yeah.
We want to definitely be a part of it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely. I mean,
And
this,
also-
I'm gonna say this is on my arm for Jam Master J.
Jam Master J. No,
Hell
no,
yeah.
no,
This
no,
is-
absolutely.
You know, 83, I fell in love with
Yeah.
Jam Master J, Run DMC.
And it's a
so,
dope fucking tattoo. You seen it? You seen
But I
it?
still rock the.
So, you see, we got the
yeah, that's
Kazals
fine.
with
That's
the
But I
Kango.
still rock only Adidas.
Yeah,
I own one pair.
we tried.
I own one pair of Nikes. I rock
tried-
these right now because you know this is Big L. You know what I'm
I
saying?
tried
Big L.
yesterday. We've been trying to get him into Air Force Ones at least to burst his bubble and pop his cherry again. But he don't want to wear Nikes, yo.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if since I got older, but Air Force Ones now are uncomfortable to me.
Uncomfortable. For me too.
I like them because they go with everything.
They do.
But
It's,
you can wear
it's classic shit.
You can wear a suit. You can wear a fuck you want and show up, and they gonna let you in with Air Force Ones.
But after 3 hours for me, I'm done.
Yeah.
Done with
You need a back brace.
You got the Dr. Scholl's and the fucking Air Force One and shit.
Like I said, we hip hop, so you know Patrick Ewing. You know what I'm saying? Got
You
the
got
Big
the
L,
Ewings. No, of
the
course.
Big L edition. You know what I'm saying? So
The ones is
we need to
always
check for
fire.
that too. But you know, we get back to that later.
Anyways,
I got a realtor for you also too. You're
yeah.
interested in moving to Orlando, so
I'm trying, man. I love Orlando, bro. I love that. What's that shit called? Winter Park.
okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
I
that's
love
like
that
that's like a
neighborhood,
Wynwood area, like it's like a artsy. You know what I mean?
I just love the old school feel of it.
No, yeah, they
That little
keep
street where the burger fires and all that shit.
right,
It just
right.
feels like suburbs.
You did a train there too, the little train.
Yeah.
Yeah,
on
that's
Friday.
over there by Rollins College and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, dope.
The next game is called. Sorry,
No, you're good.
all right. The choice is yours. So my books you the same night. It's the same bag for a club party, a house party, or a corporate party. What you picking?
House party.
Why?
Food. home cooked food. No, I don't gotta worry. I don't have to valet park. They got home cooked food. Well, it depends how. Actually, whatever's closer, honestly. In Miami with the traffic, I'm probably gonna say whatever's closer. But I'll probably say house party.
House party.
House parties are pure vibes. There's no bottle service. There's no corporate parties. You can't play curse words. So it's like house party for sure.
Top 5 DJs now, and 5 top DJs before. To you, your list.
My list before.
Before and now. So that's 10 total.
Now it's hard, bro. I mean, to be honest with you, like my top 5 is always going to be my same top 5. I've always been a very, very, very big fan of DJ AM.
Okay.
So I would say AM. I would say Craze. Coming from Miami, this is a different thing because it's a DJ and an MC, but DJ Chipman, because he's legendary. That's the guy who did the peanut butter jelly shit. But coming from Miami,
My granddaughter loves that right
Yeah.
there.
All kids do.
Yeah, but
Still.
they playing that right now.
On TikTok?
No, preschool. So she
Oh no,
comes
that's a
on-
viral song, right? Still to this day, it's viral.
still Funk Flex because something about that guy, he just doesn't
He's on my
lose.
top 5, believe it or not.
And I'm not saying this because of being like an affiliate of his. Bobby earned his place on my top 5.
He has my respect for what he's done for hip hop. Not only that, he was carrying records for Red Alert, Chuck Chill Out, and then at
Funk Flex.
yeah. And at one point, they were working for him.
What
You
I'm
know
gonna
what I'm saying?
say,
So it's like
I'm gonna say versatility though, more than all of that stuff, because it's very hard to throw a DJ into a Miami market, throw a DJ into a house music room, throw a DJ into a hip hop room, and be able to cover it across the board. Somebody new that's definitely been on my radar that I've actually started booking at my own parties is the female DJ, Sammy Blends.
okay.
Sammy Blends is a new
From Miami?
No, she's from New York.
Okay.
but she's a Connecticut actually.
Okay.
The energy that girl brings to a room, and she DJs like she has ADD, but it works because it's shit that shouldn't go together. She makes go together.
Okay.
And I watched her rock a Latin party in Miami. I watched her rock I don't want to say a EDM house, but like a rhythmic party. And then I booked her at Brick for a straight hood night, and across the board killed it. So shout to Sammy Blends. She's definitely somebody on the radar.
Dope.
Another DJ that I respect his craft big time, just across the board, Fat Fingers.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
absolutely.
definite.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fat Fingers gets really busy. But I'm very obsessed with DJs that can play multi-format, because I feel like if you just study one format over and over and over and you just do your history and you study, you could kind of learn how to do that. But the DJs that can play any room or be able to read a crowd, to me, is what's important.
Correct. You got those games ready?
Yeah. So all right,
The lyrics.
we got 3 different games here, but today we're gonna go with the hip hop trivia game. All right.
Oh shit.
We're not sponsored by them or anything. These are just cool games that we enjoy ourselves and have a good time with.
need that. Where can I get that?
Usually we use
Amazon.
lyrically correct, which is I would say a lyric and then you have to finish it. You know what I mean? And there's a bunch of different
I'm gonna
stipulations.
suck at that for
You know what I
sure.
mean? No, we're not gonna do this one. We're gonna do the hip hop trivia. We're gonna keep it with the trivia. So I think I got 4 good ones here for you. So we're gonna mix them up a little bit.
I'm so bad at this
All right,
shit.
this one.
I got you.
I
Just
picked
look
this
over
one
here,
just
I'll
now.
give you the answers.
You got the cheat sheet over there.
Got the cheat sheet. Yeah, over there.
But this one I picked specifically because we spoke about it actually. That was early in the podcast or before the podcast. So, which 1990 movie featured Tupac in one of the lead roles?
See, I don't know exactly date, but I could either say it's Juice or Poetic Justice.
It's Juice.
Okay, what year did Poetic Justice come out?
I don't know what year, but I know Juice came out in '92, and we had spoke about it
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah.
So, how old was Big at the time of his death?
Okay, so I know he died on March 9th. How old was he? You know, I don't know that, bro. But if I had to guess, I would say early 20s, bro.
Yeah, he was 24.
Yeah.
The year after that, what they call the famous 23 Club.
Yeah. I was going to say 22, so yeah.
You heard of that
Yeah.
23 Club?
No, I did not.
So a lot of like famous artists, if you go back and just look back history-wise, a lot of people that have made changes in music or just skyrocketed into the stardom, they died at the age of 23.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Biggie
It's
also
called
too, right?
He was 24, but I think it's called the 23 Club or something like that.
You see that crazy shit with the star rings of all the rappers that died that were signed to what's that indie who was Pop Smoke with?
The record label, you mean?
Yeah. Or distribution. It was that indie label that the guy takes insurance policies out on all
yeah,
artists.
I didn't talk about, but I can't remember the label.
Bro,
you're
like
talking about.
every one of the
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
artists that died, they all had
died.
that same star ring, which is crazy as fuck.
Man.
We're talking about the bad boy shit we're talking about earlier.
Oh yeah, we don't want
Was
to talk
that,
about
is
that.
that Empire or no?
Let's keep it positive.
Yeah, let's keep it.
Poetic Justice came out in '93.
So the year after. Okay. Dope. We got a Google God over there. He's
doing that work.
Look at this. Which rapper played the boyfriend of Janet Jackson in the movie Poetic Justice?
Tupac.
Yeah.
I got lucky with
You
that.
got
shuffle.
lucky 4 easy ones. Man. 4 easy ones.
See, you got the
You gave me the layup because I fucked up those samples.
All right, let me help him out a little bit. You know what I mean?
top 5 producers.
Timberland, Premier, Dr. Luke for sure, because he the pop shit he did was crazy. This may sound completely fucking left field, but to me, the greatest producer of all times is fucking Hans Zimmer. You know who that is?
Zimmer?
Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer is probably responsible for every motion picture soundtrack of every movie that you've ever seen in your life. He's like 70 years old.
Wow.
But if you go to Spotify or Apple Music and you look up Hans Zimmer, look at his streams. His streams, he's the producer and the writer of the songs, but Dr. Dre for sure. Is that 5 or that's 4, right?
That's 4.
For the time that I was heavy in the clubs, till this day I'm still a super Scott Storch fan.
Okay.
But you know, Premier and Dr. Dre to me was like a very big shape of the sound that I fell in love with hip hop for.
Right.
But yeah, but I'm deep into like the nerdy side of music, so I'm gonna say like from a technicality standpoint, Hans Zimmer is like number 1. You know, Rick Rubin's another legend. You know what I'm saying? But that's a really tough one, man. That's harder than DJs for me.
Yeah.
What producer that you say right now you're waiting for the next big hit so you can play in the club?
Producer, I've been waiting on this Dr. Dre fucking
You and everybody else.
yeah.
Detox joint.
Yeah. And you know, it could go either way because when you build this kind of hype for this many years, if it's not mind blowing,
Right.
it's like it could be detrimental. It could be
He
like
got-
Jordan wearing 45. You know
You
what I
got to
mean?
have at least 5,000 songs for that.
Right.
He has to because he's always flying people out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they're always working on music that never comes out.
But the one thing I do want to say is I feel like producers are dealing with the same shit that Serato did to DJs. Everybody having a laptop and everybody making music and millions of songs being produced every day. I mean, there's 12-year-olds making amazing shit.
Yeah.
Technology and this AI producing stuff. But a lot of people don't really know, too, that there's a huge difference in producing and making a beat.
Right.
Producers who put together the whole shit,
Right.
yeah.
Right. What do you use? when you
Me?
produce? Yeah.
So when I was doing dance remixes, I was a Ableton guy, but I'm still fluid on Logic. But for me, the weapon of choice, if I could have my way and not sound old school, MPC 3000 and multiple keyboards.
So when you make a beat, what are you using what?
When I'm making a beat now from scratch, I still go to Logic.
And when you're producing?
When everything I do in Logic, I do my final mix in Pro Tools. I do all my composing and programming in Logic, unless it's a dance remix. Like if somebody says, "Hey, Effect, I need you to make a dance remix of Travis Scott Antidote," I throw the acapella in Ableton and I build in Ableton. But if I'm making something from scratch, I'm still on Logic.
We gotta plug him in with Freefall.
Yeah, Freefall.
The genius, the alien.
He's an Ableton freaking like.
Alien.
I think he knows the code.
Yeah, I was having this talk yesterday with Junior about Ableton. Because Junior loves Ableton. I think sonically the best sounding is still Fruity Loops, but I just don't like the layout.
Yeah, Fruity Loops is responsible for 95% of reggaeton.
Yep, and 99% of EDM music.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Even now, what's his name? I'm having like Afrojack was a big FL guy. From what I understood, Swedish House Mafia was very big with FL. I think the marketing was fucked up. If it was never called Fruity Loops, I think a lot of people would have got on it, but nobody wanted to use it because it was called Fruity Loops.
Yeah, just the name of it.
That's why they changed it to FL now.
Yeah, FL Studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, FL Studio.
Marketing, bro.
Yeah, but it made it's crazy because it was such a simple layout and made so much money. Ninth Wonder,
Yep.
another one that uses Fruity Loops. Yep. And he made some classic joints.
Alchemist is definitely one of my favorite producers.
Yeah.
And shout out to Scram Jones too. Scram Jones
he's a beast.
is another legend, bro.
Yeah.
My Jewish guy.
We try to get Scran Jones in here and the time and the
schedule, yeah.
scheduling didn't work out.
But we got him locked in
Yes,
though.
definite.
Is there a single night out that's like a core memory for you? Is there something, or was it an event you were DJing that you was like, damn, I can't believe I'm here type of thing, or maybe a concert or something that you've attended? Something you always refer to that puts you in a good mood.
I mean, one of my favorite nights, I think, top 5 at least. I got to DJ Mark Pitt's Grammy party in LA.
Okay.
And it was crazy to me because like that was when Jessica Rosenblum first started managing me, and she's like, "Oh, I got you this gig in LA." Didn't tell me to the level of what it was,
Right.
And it was like first thing was like Miguel walks in, Sierra walks in, Usher walks in, Puff walks in, and it was just nonstop. And it didn't hit me till the next day because it was all moving so fast. But a legendary night in my career because one of my favorite artists. This definitely is probably one of my happiest moments. One of my favorite artists of all time is Busta Rhymes. I think he's the best performer.
Absolutely.
We just saw him recently again.
There is, for whatever it's worth, I don't think there's a better performer than Busta Rhymes.
Nope.
His dynamic with him and Spliff. So the way I met Busta was interesting. So I was DJing in a mansion one night.
Just laughing at Bobby Trans.
Bobby Trans story for
Yeah, go
Busta.
ahead, go ahead.
He had a Busta story too.
Yeah,
He used to DJ for him.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Go ahead.
So the way I met Busta was crazy. I think he wanted to like whoop my ass the first time he met me. I'm stepping down backwards off of the DJ booth at Mansion, and I step down. I step on his expensive ass shoes, and I knock his drink out his hand. That's how I met Busta.
Right.
So I turn around and I look at him, and I'm like, and I go, "You're Busta Rhymes." He's like, "Get the fuck off my shoes." And I knocked his drink over. So right behind me, I had a bottle of Cristal and a bottle of tequila. And I grab both things and I go, "My bad about your drink." And I hand him the 2 drinks.
Right.
And he just smiles from ear to ear. And, I don't even think he put 2 and 2 together that I was a DJ. So after that shit, I get on and I DJ and I'm playing and he's there and I see him vibing and whatever. And he's hosting that night. So he goes to perform and then he grabs me from behind the DJ booth and he brings me out. And he put his arm around me. It was like performing with me and giving me all the highest praises and shit. Like from a DJ perspective, and me
Right.
and him been friends ever since. Like actual friends. Like
Right.
when I would fly to New York, he'd be like, "Where you playing tonight?" He would come to the club.
Dope.
Like he'd been to my crib. Like he's
Yeah.
and Fat Joe was a really good friend of mine for a really long time. And I got, I met Fat Joe in a very similar circumstance. I started DJing at Privé, and again, pre-internet shit, him and 50's beef. First night at Privé, I dropped 50 Cent in the club. Two of his goons were now my friends too, Pistol Pete and
Pistol Pete.
yeah, Pistol Pete and I don't know if it was Macho. No, it was Raul. Raul reaches over and rips the fucking needle off the turntable. This is still turntable shit, whatever.
Rest in peace, Raul, right?
Yeah.
He passed away, yeah.
No, which
No,
one?
it was Flex.
Oh, Flex.
Oh,
passed
Flex
away.
passed away,
Flex.
okay.
Raul's the one who still wears the
Yeah,
gigantic
Raul, yeah.
TS piece.
Flex passed away.
Flex passed away, right.
And they knew it was like some innocent shit. I wasn't trying to,
Yeah, disrespect.
And then it was crazy because the next day, I don't even know if Joe was at the club that night. The next day, Joe calls me. He was like, "Oh, you're on my radar." Da 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 da. And me and him became friends. And the whole Dark Side album was done in my studio in Miami. Joe's been a personal friend for years too. But yeah, like the nights of like the Busta Rhymes thing and definitely that Mark Pitts Grammy party was special to me.
How'd you feel you did at that Mark Pitts? Because we're our biggest critic. You know what I mean? So,
I have to be honest. I'm my biggest critic. I think I did extremely well that night, but it was extremely well because I happened to be right place, right time, and happened to be obsessed with that whole movement of music.
okay.
And
So you were prepared.
and loving R&B. So like for me, it was, I've had some not good nights. I had a really bad night recently with 50. Like to the point we were arguing with each other on the mic, and I almost lost my residency at 11 over it. You know what I'm saying? Because 50 is a guy that is a dick when he wants to be a dick, and I've DJ'd for 50 at least 30 times already. Right. Every time 50 plays in Miami, I play, whether it's 11 or there at the Hard Rock, whatever. So it was crazy because he did 11. We talk about good shit. Let's talk about the bad shit too.
No, it comes with the territory, man.
So I'm playing for 50. I did his whole show perfect. He brings out A Boogie, and A Boogie was unannounced. I had 50's whole set mapped out. His manager's like, this is a song he wants in each order, whatever.
Right.
So he brings out A Boogie. And what I learned is A Boogie did my Mr. Cream release party. I still had his set list saved in my computer from when he did the concert. You don't play the artist's biggest record first. Mm-hmm. So, I start off just playing his familiar record, like the Star Tender record or whatever. But then 50 stops the music and tells me that I suck because I didn't play Drowning, right?
Okay.
The way he said it, I kind of played it off like, ha ha, whatever. I dropped Drowning and, he performed. And then he was like, give me another one. And by this point, I was already in my feelings because he told me I sucked on the mic.
Right.
And then I made a comment, and it was a comment that I shouldn't have said. And then he brings out Wiz Khalifa. So he brings out Wiz Khalifa, and Wiz Khalifa walks out, and I see Wiz Khalifa, and the first thing I do is I go to Black and Yellow, just because it's Club 11. It's a very mainstream tourist, top 40 club.
Right.
And before the verse comes, again, he's like, so now he goes like this to me. I cut the record and he gets on the mic and says, "Get this DJ to fuck off." So for me, I say, "You want me off? Cool." I took my headphones off.
That's it, yeah.
I put my headphones and I walked out the DJ booth.
Right.
Now the owners of the club are like, "The fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, I didn't say nothing at the time, but so the first thing I did was I regrouped. I asked the in-house resident DJ, I'm like, "Yo, you need to get on because I gotta collect my thoughts before I wild out."
Right.
And 50 is not a guy. I don't really want problems with 50. Like I said, I'm not a gangster. I'm not trying to
it's
fight.
not about that.
But my respect is very
Respect is-
important.
yeah,
to me.
No,
Your
your,
name,
your
yeah.
dignity, your respect, all that shit. Yeah, absolutely.
So the next morning, I get a phone call from the guy who does the bookings, and he's like, "Yo, they want to take you off the schedule." I said, "Okay, cool." He's like, "That's it? You're not gonna like?" I'm like, "What you want me to say?"
Right.
You want me to say that like
Decision's made already.
the decision? I said, "No, not even that." I said, "So you want me to sit here and try to like beg to keep a gig that this guy disrespected?" I wasn't. His DJ didn't come in. I think he still uses Chubb,
Chubby
right?
Chubb,
Yeah,
yeah.
Chubby Chubb.
Chubby Chubb missed his flight. I played the gig. I'm like, I didn't get paid to DJ for him. I wasn't supposed to DJ for him. I wasn't supposed to DJ for any of it. My goal is to do my residency, get on at 3 o'clock and rock. And I was put in this situation. This guy is telling me, get this DJ to fuck off. This is one of those moments, like if it went viral, it could fuck my career up.
Right.
And I'm like, you guys as club owners and me being your DJ for the last like 10 years,
Right.
you never thought like, maybe I need to have this guy's back because he's with us every year.
Right.
I'm like, so I said, if you want to take me off the schedule, politely,
me
you
off,
can take me
right.
off the schedule. I totally understand.
Right.
I'm not gonna beg for something that y'all made me look crazy.
Right.
And whatever. So, it wound up working itself out. But what upset them was I wrote Star and I was like, yo, bro, like I've been rocking with y'all for a long time from a radio standpoint, a club standpoint, to try me on a microphone when I've always been an advocate for you guys. When I was a Remy Martin brand ambassador, I was still showing love to Branson against my own will to be a team player, and you tell me to get the fuck off the stage when I'm working for y'all for free.
Right.
The club owners didn't like that I text him that because what did that guy do? He took the text message and sent it to all the partners of the club. It became a whole big thing.
Right.
But for me, like at the end of the day, dog, like
It's your name. It's your
it's
name.
my name, and I've always been the guy to fight for my respect, not fight to be a gangster, but just fight to make sure that no one will take advantage of me.
No, absolutely.
So, that's a bad night.
Right.
So there's a dynamic. You have your good and your bad, and every time I've always made it a point. And every time I talk about good shit, I always want to talk about bad shit, so everybody knows. People are too programmed to this Instagram mentality where you get that 1% highlight reel of every day.
Yep.
So if you're going to see my 1%, you're going to see my other 99, you're going to get it.
Yeah, and it's the same thing I say, for example, like the Twitch streamers. You don't see how many times they got their ass whipped in the game or how many losses they got. What they're posting is you're only seeing them wins. You know what I mean? I play Call of Duty, so that's my shit on Xbox. But you don't see some 10-year-old kid that whipped their ass in the game because they don't post those things. Of course. You know what I'm saying? You're only seeing their highlights on YouTube, and then they get picked up, obviously making millions of dollars. But there is a good and a bad that comes with any profession.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think it's important that people start showing the bad shit too. Why is there only a like button? Why is there a dislike button?
Right.
Because if people saw the dynamic, there'll be less depression. There'll be less people having problems. So everybody trying to compare their imperfect life to everything they see on their phone being perfect is what's making people go fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why every little girl wants to be a model now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Miami being the OnlyFans capital of the country.
right.
Did you see that shit?
Damn.
Wow.
Really? I didn't know that. Wow.
I said Miami, yeah. Not even Florida, just Miami.
Miami is alone. Damn.
So what can we expect from you in a year from now?
I mean, bro, honestly, if I could just continue doing what I'm doing now, I'm completely happy. I mean, like I said, I'm trying to really make a mark in this food and beverage hospitality industry. But the one thing that will always maintain to be my goal is I have to at least get a Grammy nomination. If I could figure out a way to do that,
We'll put it out there.
That's my lifetime goal. It's more important to me than a amount of money, but just to be. And I know the politics behind it, but I feel like it's still reachable.
No, absolutely.
That's my major goal. But like on a I don't want to say that's unrealistic, but on a realistic level, I want to start creating the experiences on a level that I can serve to people. Like I feel like because of what's happening in the DJ industry, because of things being kind of a little bit oversaturated, we all became DJs to make people feel great. And I feel like food is the next best thing to making people feel great, or maybe in the equal level of music. So the branching out and expanding Mr. Cream again and bouncing that back, and then launching the My Way Italian Steakhouse brand. I'm excited for both things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Great.
So yeah.
What advice would you give to somebody that wants to start DJing today? Like they come up to you and say, "Hey, I love the way you DJ. I want to DJ. What do I do? What advice could you give me?"
Stop following trends and follow your feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to sound cheesy, but like I said, I don't know what music is good or bad. I just know what feels good. Right. So I tell people just stick with the feeling. Like if you want to be a DJ, no matter what genre of music it is, just stick to what makes you feel like you need to be doing that.
Right. Any final words to our listeners and our viewers?
Thank you for the support. Thank you
thank
to
you.
you guys for having me here. Thank you for, just everybody, this is dope.
Thank you. We
DJ
appreciate that.
culture and, shout to anybody that has ever contributed to any level of success in my career, no matter how small or how big. Thank you.
How can anybody book you?
Effect at djeffect.com, Instagram at djeffect, pretty much on all platforms at djeffect.
You answer your own social media?
Social media, I answer, emails.
Your own booking as well?
Yeah, I see the booking ones, but I have somebody doing the booking one. Yeah.
Cool. Great. You have anything else?
No, I'm good, man. Definitely appreciate you coming out, sitting, chopping it up for a couple of hours. So we would like to salute, DJ Effect for sharing his stories on Respect the DJs podcast. Many thanks to you, our loyal listeners and viewers. And as always, we have another exciting episode coming up. Stay tuned. And until then, I've been your host, DJ Khaled, alongside DJ Junebug for Respect the DJs podcast.
And we are out. Peace. Oh, by the way, Bobby, we're a podcast. You're looking for somebody. We're here. Find the words for me. Peace.
Street Dreams Music Group. Play that.
DJ AM, an icon whose influence on the landscape of modern DJing remains immeasurable. A trailblazer in the art of turntablism, DJ AM not only mastered the technical intricacies of his craft, but also brought a revolutionary approach to blending genres and captivating diverse audiences. As a pioneering force in the open format DJing, his seamless mixes and innovative sets transcended musical boundaries. DJ AM's legacy resonates as a testament to his unparalleled skill, resilience, and passion for music, inspiring a new generation of DJs to push the boundaries of sonic exploration. DJ AM, Respect the DJs podcast, salutes you.